What's up guys, this is your favorite fanfic YouTuber, the Fanfic Majesty, and welcome to another amazing video. You can follow me on Patreon for exclusive stories. 8RG 176 Silver Axe Ochaku Death. This is the terrifying power possessed by the Fire Dragon Slayer magic when it is cultivated to the peak stage. When Chen Mu is seriously engaged with the enemy, there are hardly many people who are Chen Mu's opponents. And if you want to beat Chen Mu, let alone in this world, the only force that can defeat Chen Mu, and only the top armament hockey's internal destruction. Besides, no one can easily hurt Chen Mu, let alone defeat him. After doing all this, Chen Mu quickly flew high into the sky, and began to follow the trace of Vegapunk in the sea. So close. Watching Chen Mu's figure leave, Grindelwald wiped the cold sweat from his forehead. Fortunately, at the critical moment, he took back the ability to boost Ochaku and Silver Axe. Otherwise, with his speed just now, he couldn't dodge Chen Mu's attack at all. Boom. Boom. But at this moment, two charred corpses fell from a high altitude and appeared in front of Grindelwald. These two people are exactly Silver Axe and Ochaku. When their speed is doubled, it is difficult to avoid Chen Mu's fireball attack, let alone being recovered by Grindelwald at 10 times the speed. The two of them could be said to have resisted Chen Mu's full blow with a 310 frontal force. The body was directly scorched, and it couldn't even be seen that it was a humanoid worker. What is dead cannot die again. Damn it, Grindelwald, you bastard. A voice came to Grindelwald's ears. He turned his head and noticed that the green pepper was staring at him viciously not far away. The reason why Qingjiao didn't die was because he was on the edge of Chen Mu's fireball. Moreover, Grindelwald is in order, recovering the growth area of the three. First Silver Axe, then Ochaku, and finally green peppers. And when Qingjiao was about to avoid the fireball attack, he felt that the boost power on his body had been taken back by Grindelwald. If it wasn't because of his quick response, otherwise, only less than 0.1 seconds away. Like Ochaku Silver Axe, he will be charred by Chen Mu's attack. Green peppers can be said to be, both feet almost stepped into the ghost gate. But in the end it was hard to survive. Grindelwald glanced at Qingjiao indifferently and said in a deep voice, "If you didn't have my little increase in power, you would have died by now." He just withdrew the increased power at the moment when Qingjiao was about to dodge the attack. In the case of Grindelwald, starting from the green pepper to recover the increase. Then, Silver Axe, Ochaku, and the owner of the green pepper must all die. Qingjiao panted heavily, sat down on the ground, and said with a ferocious expression, "Damn it, I didn't expect that we are not Chen Mu's opponent at all." When the five of them found Chen Mu, they hadn't fought yet. It can be said that they are full of self-confidence, and they have decided that Chen Mu must be right. Although it was suppressed by Chen Mu later, but when Grindelwald exposed his cards. They were full of confidence again, thinking that they would definitely be able to defeat Chen Bed this time. But the truth is, even with their increased speed, even with Kaido's increased strength, the five of them are still no match for Chen Mu, and the gap is not generally large. It can be said that Silver Axe and Ochaku were instantly killed by Chen Mu. Grindelwald also looked unusually gloomy at this time, speaking. He now understands why Golden Lion refuses to form an alliance with them. It must be the Golden Lion, who had fully understood Chen Mu's strength early on, so he chose to refuse. Now we are completely on the opposite side of Chen Mu. Even if we are not killed by Chen Mu now, it is very likely that Chen Mu will come to us. Qingjiao frowned, and said with a little fear, "Even if the five of us join forces, we are no match for Chen Mu. Now only the two of us are left alive. Isn't this going to be slaughtered by Chen Mu? Baba?" Grindelwald put his eyes on Kaido, shook his head slightly and said, "No, only Silver Axe and Ochaku are dead. Kaido is not dead yet, we are the masters now." Did Kaido survive Chen Mu's full-strength blow head-on? Qingjiao stared at Kaido's fallen body and asked in disbelief. When Kaido was attacked, I hadn't taken back the ability to increase Kaido's body. His defense power and bone density were 5 times higher than normal, so, to resist Chen head-on, Mu's attack didn't kill him either. Although Kaido is not dead yet, but he is on the verge of death. Now Kaido has been knocked unconscious by Chen Mu long ago, even though the golden flame is burning on him. Kaido showed no signs of waking up either. Grindelwald, with green pepper, rushed up quickly, trying to find a way to extinguish the flames on Kaido's body. Now they are teammates on the same front. If Kaido dies, they can only face Chen Mu as two people. The knot. It's over. Chen Mu, killed Silver Axe and Ochaku with one move? Could it be that Chen Mu didn't use his full strength in the battle just now, so is this his real strength to use his full strength? Facing the siege of 5 big pirates in New World, I didn't expect Chen Mu to kill 2 of them instead. This strength must be reported to Lord Five Elders immediately. Seeing the battle in front of them, the danger level of Chen Mu in their hearts has increased by 1 point. This fight must be reported to the 5 Elders quickly. No. But why did Chen Mu leave before killing the 3 of them? Right. By the way, isn't our purpose this time to take away Vegapunk? As the voice fell, they realized that there were few people around them. After a short period of stupefaction, they realized what happened. It turned out that they were still watching the battle. Someone had already left the place, secretly captured Vegapunk, and wanted to claim credit alone. Only then did they understand why Chen Mu didn't kill Qingjiao, Kaido and Burndi with a makeup knife. It turned out to be chasing their colleagues. Fortunately, we forgot to capture Vegapunk, a member of the world government said with some palpitations as he wiped the cold sweat from his forehead. After Chen Mu killed Silver Axe Ochaku, severely damaged Kaido, and injured Qingjiao and Burndi, he was almost in his prime. Moreover, Chen Mu's flying speed is extremely fast in the form of a dragon. I believe you will be able to find Vegapunk in a short time. And those colleagues who captured Vegapunk will die in the hands of Chen Shu. 177 years later, world government, inside the highest hall. Five elders, gathered together. The blonde-haired old man connected to the information reported by the world government, and his face changed from calm to serious. After hanging up the phone, the blonde old man said solemnly, "The team of the 5 great pirates of the New World still lost to Chen Mu." After hearing this, the scarred old man sighed and said, "Is it still defeated?" Sure enough. As long as it involves matters related to Chen Mu, our world government and marine plans have never succeeded. First started in the Valley of the Gods a year ago, they even invited the Roger pirates to join the battle to encircle and suppress Chen Mu together. They consumed countless troops, and even lost a marine marshal and a marine admiral. In the end, only Rox was replaced. Chen Mu and Whitebeard left the Valley of Gods safely. Afterwards, Naval Headquarters dispatched a large number of main forces and launched a buster call, which was still resolved by Chen Mu. Even Chen Mu personally appeared in the Holy Land of Marijoy, they still did not take Chen Mu. The incident related to the scientist Vegapunk also failed because of Chen Mu's intervention. Now they have spent a lot of money to mobilize 5 big pirates from New World to encircle and suppress Chen Mu, but the final result is still resolved by Chen Mu. As long as it is an incident related to Chen Mu, they have suffered heavy losses every time, and Chen Mu has not suffered a bit. It's fine if the 5 great pirates of New World didn't kill Chen Mu, and we didn't succeed in bringing Vegapunk back. This time, it can be said to be a complete failure. If they can bring Vegapunk back, they're very likely to learn the secrets about Chen Mu from Vegapunk. At that time, you can carry out targeted planning. But the problem is, Vegapunk was eventually snatched by Chen Mu. The old man in a black suit suddenly suggested, "Why don't we go ask Lord IM for instructions, and hunt down Chen Mu personally?" As long as Chen Mu didn't die for a day, the 5 elders would be full of worries. It was as if a poisonous thorn had been stuck in their chests, making them feel uncomfortable. Although Chen Mu's strength has reached an extremely terrifying level now, as long as the 5 of them work together, they think that they still have a 100% chance of winning. The old man with the scar shook his head slightly and said helplessly, "Forget it, we have asked Mr. IM for instructions many times these days. If we go again, Mr. IM will be bored. Could it be that we really have nothing to do with Chen Mu now? Naval Headquarters definitely can't target Chen Mu now, after all, Naval Headquarters lost too many troops when they launched the buster call. In addition, Marine Admiral Garp and Sengoku all lost to Chen Mu. The morale inside Marine is very low now, I believe no one would be willing to face such an enemy as Chen Mu. Marine couldn't do anything against Chen Mu, and the 5 of them couldn't mobilize, and New World's big pirate couldn't do anything about Chen Mu either. Chen Mu is now in New World, he can be said to be an absolute predator, he doesn't have any natural enemies, and likewise, almost no one can pose a threat to him. It's not that there is no way, Chen Mu is definitely not able to target him, but Vegapunk is just an ordinary scientist after all. What we have to do now is to send troops to track down his clues. In the event of a head-on conflict, find a way to take Vegapunk away. However, this plan is too difficult, it is not an easy task to snatch Vegapunk from Chen Mu's hands. I think this method is feasible, or in other words, this is the only way, and Chen Mu can't stay by Vegapunk's side all the time, and there will always be a day when he leaves, and that's his opportunity. It seems that this is the only way to do it. Let the CPO organize all the people out, and then contact the marine people, let them track down Vegapunk's whereabouts throughout the New World, and find a chance to bring Vegapunk back. Although this is not a very good way, but now the 5 of them have no choice but to use such a plan. After Chen Mu recovered Vegapunk, he purchased the equipment needed for his experiment. Vegapunk was then placed on an isolated island, and then returned to the Grand Line to start looking for the Millennium Dragon. Zero looking for flowers. This search took several years. And in the past few years when Chen Mu disappeared, New World is always in chaos, Kaido, Burndi Wald, and Green Pepper are always in a state of alliance. In order to guard against Chen Mu's revenge, they have developed their own forces in New World crazily these years. And the same goes for Charlotte Linlin, Golden Lion, Whitebeard. As for Marine, in the face of the chaos in New World, they did not push too much. Instead, they focused on cultivating Marine newcomers. But they have once again cultivated 3 extremely talented Marines. Nowadays, the Roger pirates have collected a lot of historical texts. Naval Headquarters, Marine Variety. In New World, compared with Kaido, Golden Lion, Charlotte Linlin, Whitebeard, Wald, Green Pepper and others, they are developing their forces crazily. Just to understand the historical truth that has been dusty for hundreds of years. It was discovered that all three of them had eaten devil fruit. The strength doesn't even lose to you demons, inside Marine Marshal Kong's office. And at such a young age, he has already shown terrifying combat prowess. Also because Marine couldn't interfere too much with the Roger pirates. Sakazuki, Paluzolino, Kuzan, more importantly, when they Marine trained the three of them. And it's tough, Logia Lakia. Marine is now devoting all its resources to focus on training these three people. The Roger pirates have begun to search for the historical text in New World. Sengoku leaned on the sofa, crossed his hands in front of his chest, and curled up the corner of his mouth. In the future, the ones who can carry the banner of our Marine are Sakazuki, Paluzolino, and Kuzan. The talents of these three guys, it really doesn't lose much to us. These three Marines can be described as the new 3-star Marines cultivated by their naval headquarters. The three of them have terrible talents, not even losing to Garp, Sengoku, Zephyr and others. Zephyr pushed the door open and said with a smile on his face, "That kid Sarkis's talent is really scary enough." 178 take naval headquarters from Vegapunk, but then again, Zephyr, how is your robotic arm? Garp stared at Zephyr and asked. It can be seen that Zephyr's right arm is not a human arm, but a robotic arm. In the Valley of the Gods War a few years ago, Chen Mu disabled Zephyr's arm, which also caused Zephyr's strength to decline significantly. Because although the right arm is still there, it can be said that it is the same as not having it. It can only be used to serve tea and pour water, and fighting is simply wishful thinking. But now, Zephyr's right arm has been removed and a giant robotic arm has been installed. This also led to Zephyr's strength being improved, and now he is a real admiral combat power. Zephyr fiddled with his robotic arm, and said with a smile, "That bastard Vegapunk, there is still something. The robotic arm I am installing now is made of extremely high purity sea stone, which has a huge effect on demon fruit power. 020, restraint effect. In the past few years when Chen Mu disappeared, their Marines managed to stay on an isolated island in the New World. Found the Vegapunk who was concentrating on research, and successfully brought Vegapunk back. And Zephyr's robotic arm was linked with the help of Vegapunk. If I meet Chen Mu again, I will never lose to him again." Back then in the Valley of the Gods, Chen Mu easily defeated Zephyr, even crippling one of his arms. Over the years, Zephyr's psychological shadow on Chen Mu has always existed. But, since installing the Sea Stone robotic arm, Zephyr has regained its confidence. Although Chen Mu's strength is very strong, as long as he is a capable person, FA will not be afraid of him. Kong, who was sitting in the middle of the office, glanced at several people with his hands on his chin and said, "It has been a few years since Chen Mu disappeared. Even though Vegapunk was taken away by us, Chen Mu has not appeared. What do you think? What has Chen Mu been up to all these years? Who knows about this kind of thing? In the past few years, there has been almost no news about Chen Mu in this sea. He seems to have disappeared out of thin air." Garp shook his head slightly. For these years, Chen Mu has been wandering around the uninhabited islands of the Grand Line, looking for the warship island. So Chen Mu hardly encountered other pirates or other Marines. If they encountered it, they would naturally be obliterated by Chen Mu. As a result, their Marine never got any news about Chen Mu. It would be great if he can continue to disappear. Without him, this sea is our Marine's home field, Sengoku said slowly. At present, the main force of their naval headquarters has been added. And they have cultivated such terrifying powerhouses as Sakazuki, Paluzolino, and Kuzan. When these three people grow up fully, their Marine is fully qualified to become the overlord of Tianhai. But the premise of all this is that Chen Mu will no longer appear. I hope so, but once Chen Mu reappears, our Marine will be in more or less trouble. Crane raised his brows slightly and reminded him. It was they Marine who captured Vegapunk, and, when they found Vegapunk, they destroyed all the man-made devil fruit developed by Vegapunk. Although I don't know why Chen Mu has such a large demand for devil fruit. But, just what they did in Marine must have annoyed Chen Mu. Once Chen Mu reappears in this sea, the first thing he must do is to take back Vegapunk. And, it is very possible to attack them at sea. Zephyr nodded and said, "If you say that, I really hope that Chen Mu will continue to hide from the world like this." Chen Mu's strength a few years ago had already reached a terrifying level. But now, they don't know how terrifying Chen Mu's strength has reached. But they are very clear that it must be better than a few years ago. Blue, brew. Blue, brew. The phone bug on Zephyr's waist rang. After Zephyr answered the phone bug, he simply said a few words to the other party and then hung up the phone bug. "I heard that Vegapunk has developed a new weapon against demon fruit power. I need to go and have a look now." Zephyr waved to several people and left the office. Travel to the island of Vegapunk for research. Grand Line, some island. Chen Mu stood by the beach, folded his hands on his chest, staring at the sea in front of him, lost in thought. He has been searching for several years in the Grand Line, not to mention finding the Millennium Dragon. 0. He hasn't found out where Warship Island is, and it's not that he hasn't found Warship Island. Rather, there are too many places where the Grand Line is called Gunkanjima. At this time, Chen Mu began to doubt whether the Millennium Dragon is in the Grand Line or whether it is in the Four Seas. Forget it, let's go back to New World first. A huge wing appeared behind Chen Mu, and then he left the Grand Line, preparing to return to the New World. After several years of searching with no results, Chen Mu decided to return to New World to have a look. You know, it has been several years now. I believe Vegapunk has developed a lot of man-made devil fruit. According to 3 per month, at least now, Dot has exceeded 100 devil fruits. In this way, the power of Chen Mu's wood style, immortal art, and essence of demons can all be upgraded to the top level. Soon, Chen Mu has come to the coast of Sabodi Archipelago. But at this time, he didn't intend to build a ship, carry out coding, and then pass through the Fishmen Island to enter the New World. Instead, he plunged into the deep sea and swam across the 10,000-meter deep sea. In the past few years, although Chen Mu has been looking for the Warship Island on the Grand Line, he has not slackened in his cultivation. Now he wants to try it. Can your body withstand the water pressure at a depth of 10,000 meters? As expected by Chen Mu, the physical fitness of Chen Mu 2.8 now can really withstand the water pressure at a depth of 10,000 meters. Chen Mu soon arrived at the Fishmen Island, landed on the island, and then took a breath. Just as Chen Mu took a deep breath and wanted to take another breath and head to New World, he spotted smoke billowing from an area of the Fishmen Island. Boom! Accompanied by that, there was the sound of buildings collapsing. Anyone fighting on the Fishmen Island? Seeing the scene in front of him, Chen Mu said to himself. This doesn't look like the damage that the Fishmen Island's murlocs can cause in a competition. On the contrary, it seems that there are intruders, invading the Fishmen Island. Chen Mu hesitated for a moment, but decided to go over to have a look. After all, the Fishmen Island, no matter what, is also his local worker Chen Shushui. Someone invaded the Fishmen Island, and he had no reason to sit by and watch. 179 Chen Mu versus 3 generals. The Fishmen Island Center. I saw a strong man with a height of more than 3 meters, purple hair, 3 tufts of hair on the top and back of the head, and a man with long bun-shaped hair on the top of his head. He was fighting Tiger with a weapon in his hand. He is Cracker, one of the 3 stars of the Charlotte Linlin pirates. And beside Cracker, there are a man and a woman watching the battle. They are Katakuri, one of the 3 generals, and Smoothie, one of the 3 generals. Cracker held a long knife in his hand, looked at Tiger in front of him and said indifferently, "Don't be brave, you are not my opponent." Tiger held the wound on his abdomen, panting heavily, and snorted coldly. "Damn it, how can we, the Fishmen Island, submit to Charlotte Linlin's banner?" The goal of Cracker and others coming here this time is to regain the Fishmen Island. Let this country become a subsidiary country under their banner. But the people of the Fishmen Island don't obey, so they can only fight with them. Brother Tiger. Not far away, Jinbei and Arlong, seeing that Tiger was about to fall, couldn't help shouting worriedly, wanting to step forward to help. "Don't come here," Tiger shouted coldly. Even he is not the opponent of Cracker, let alone Jinbei and Arlong. 10% of them are instantly killed. Katakuri, who was watching from the side, said indifferently, "Do you want to continue to be brave? What you do will only lead to the destruction of the Fishmen Island." Tiger looked ferociously, staring at Katakuri and said coldly, "We are the Fishmen Island, but how can those who have been protected by brother Chen Mu submit to Zhonglote Linlin again?" Chen Mu. Hearing the name Chen Mu, Katakuri, Cracker, and Smoothie were visibly taken aback. Obviously, although they haven't seen Chen Mu with their own eyes, they have heard countless legends about Chen Mu in this sea. But, the most important point is, when did the Fishmen Island come under the protection of Chen Mu? This kind of thing has not spread in the sea. It is normal for the 3 of them not to know that the Fishmen Island is protected by Chen Mu, because even Charlotte Ling does not know. In other words, people in the whole world don't know the news. After Chen Mu went to New World from the Fishmen Island a few years ago, he encountered the combination of Silver Axe, Ochaku, Qingjiao, Kaido, and Burndi. After defeating a few people, Chen Mu arranged Vegapunk and went directly back to the Grand Line to find the Millennium Dragon. Forgot to announce to the world that the Fishmen Island is under his protection. If not, Charlotte Linlin would not have dared to refer to the Fishmen Island sheltered by Chen Mu at all. After thinking for a moment, Katakuri frowned slightly and retorted, "Don't be kidding. I have never heard that the Fishmen Island is under the protection of Chen Mu, and Chen Mu is already in this sea, has disappeared for several years. How could you have anything to do with Chen Mu?" Cracker sneered. "Do you want to use Chen Mu to scare us? Tiger, you are really stupid. Do you think we will be scared by your words?" Smoothie folded his hands on his chest, and said flatly, "Just mentioning Chen Mu's name is not enough to scare us, if you think it's just because you mentioned Chen Mu's name. If you want the 3 of us to retreat and leave the Fishmen Island, then your thinking is really naive. It's not that the 3 of them are not afraid of Chen Mu, they are interested in the legend about Chen Mu. Just by listening to it, they feel their scalps go numb. And now they are unmoved only because they don't believe that Chen Mu has anything to do with the Fishmen Island. Just when Katakuri wanted to continue attacking Tiger, a voice came from not far away, and Chen Mu was walking slowly. The three generals under Charlotte Linlin? It's quite courageous, and it refers to the country I protect. After hearing the source of the sound, everyone turned their heads involuntarily. Tiger's pupils shrank slightly, and then he smiled and shouted, "Brother Chen Mu." "Great, Brother Chen Mu is here, Brother Chen. Chen Mu is here, our Fishmen Island is saved." When Jinbei and Arlong saw Chen Mu's figure, they were taken aback for a moment, and then cheered and jumped for joy. With Chen Mu's strength, even the 5 elders of the world government can defeat him. What's more, now Chen Mu's opponent is only the 3 generals under Charlotte Linlin. The arrival of Chen Mu undoubtedly directly announced the result of this battle. Chen Mu. After seeing the person who came, Katakuri broke out in a cold sweat, and took a few steps back again and again. Smoothie turned pale with shock, and said with a trembling tone, How is it possible? Didn't Chen Mu disappear into this sea? Why did he appear here? Could it be that, as Tiger said, the Fishmen Island was sheltered by Chen Mu? The problem is, they don't even know about it. Seeing Chen Mu approaching step by step, both Katakuri and Smoothie felt the terrifying aura from Chen Mu, and couldn't help but backed up again and again. Only Cracker stared at Chen Mu with his eyes. Although he also felt the threat of death from Chen Mu, he didn't take half a step back and said coldly, "The Fishmen Island is under the protection of Chen Mu. I have never heard of such a thing. This guy is just bluffing. Superior. Cookie soldiers. Whether the Chen Mu in front of him is real or not, it would be fine if he just had a fight." So now he concluded that the Chen Mu in front of him must be a fake. Cracker clapped his hands, and a dozen giant soldiers appeared behind him. Although these soldiers are all made of biscuits, the hardness is extremely fishy. If it's true, it's a big deal. Changed into the appearance of Chen Mu, now I just want to scare them. And the Fishmen Island, as a prosperous country, naturally has devil fruit in 887. You know, in this world, there is a power beyond miracles like devil fruit. He has never heard of the news that Chen Mu shelters the Fishmen Island. The current Cracker only thinks that a murloc eats a devil fruit that can transform. But now, after seeing him, one of the 3 generals not only didn't run away but attacked him. Cracker gave an order, and a dozen biscuit soldiers rushed towards Chen Mu quickly. Think back a few years ago, even Marine Admiral didn't dare to confront him head-on. If it is false, they will be able to recover the Fishmen Island smoothly today. Looking at the dozen or so biscuit giants in front of him, Chen Mu spread out his hands and said helplessly, "I've really disappeared for too long. Why aren't all the 3 generals afraid of me?" Cracker is not a fool, but he has been paying attention to the news of the sea. 180 Katakuri's awakening. Boom. Chen Mu fisted slightly, and punched the biscuit soldier. The biscuit soldier closest to Chen Mu exploded directly, and then the fragments scattered in all directions, destroying all other biscuit soldiers. The dozen or so biscuit soldiers released by Cracker were all destroyed by Chen Mu in an instant. No. Impossible. Seeing the scene in front of him, Cracker obviously lied at this time. Since Chen Mu has the ability to easily destroy his biscuit soldiers, that means the Chen Mu in front of him is not a fake. But the real thing. Good. So strong, Brother Chen Mu destroyed all the enemy's soldiers with just one move. As expected of Brother Chen Mu, with him here, Charlotte Linlin will definitely not dare to refer to us as the Fishmen Island again. Brother Chen Mu's strength is still the same as before. Jinbei, Arlong, and Tiger saw the scene in front of them with even more excited expressions on their faces. On the other hand, the 3 of Katakuri, Smoothie, and Cracker could almost be said to have been frightened and dumbfounded. Smoothie pretended to be calm, suppressed the fear in his heart, and said with a slightly trembling tone, "Chen Mu, please forgive our rudeness. We didn't know that the Fishmen Island was protected by you place." Facing a powerhouse of Chen Mu's level, Smoothie didn't feel any fighting spirit in his heart. There was only endless fear, and she knew that if she didn't show weakness now, she might be erased by Chen Mu. Cracker quickly put down the weapon in his hand, raised his hands to show weakness, and said, Chen Mu, we are only following Mother's orders." Chen Mu approached Cracker step by step, and said calmly, "Oh, really? Did Charlotte Linlin order you to attack me after meeting me?" Seeing Chen Mu approaching step by step, Cracker's heartbeat was extremely fast, and he was extremely panicked. He quickly knelt down and said, "Yes, I'm sorry." When Katakuri saw Cracker kneeling, his complexion suddenly became gloomy, and he scolded, "Cracker, we are the most proud children of our mother, how can we kneel to others?" Although Katakuri is also full of fear towards Chen Mu, he is so weak in the face of Cracker. Katakuri is deeply disappointed by this. Facing Katakuri's scolding, Cracker remained unmoved, and kept kneeling on the ground, not daring to look up at Chen Mu, his body trembling constantly. And Chen Mu quickly came in front of Cracker, and then stretched out his palm, directly strangling Cracker's neck. Cracker's face turned red immediately. Chen Mu's huge hand strength made him breathless. Seeing that Cracker was about to be killed by Chen Mu, Smoothie remained indifferent, but Katakuri stopped him. "Chen Mu, Don't kill him, we did this wrong, so I will take responsibility. Although Kataku's looks cold on the outside and hot on the inside, he looks lonely and stern on the outside, but he actually cares about his family and subordinates. Seeing that Cracker was about to be killed, he couldn't stand on the sidelines. Crack. Facing Katakuri's stop, Chen Mu remained indifferent, and with a slight force on his arm, he directly cut off Cracker's neck. Chen Mu threw Cracker's body aside, looked at Katakuri and said calmly, if he did something wrong, he needs to bear it himself. It's not up to you to decide who should bear the mistake. Cracker destroyed many buildings on the Fishmen Island where he was sheltering, and also attacked him. Faced with such provocations, Chen Mu would naturally not let him go and let him leave the Fishmen Island alive. Looking at Cracker's death, Smoothie didn't show any distress on his face, but looked at Chen Mu cautiously and asked, Chen Mu, now that Cracker has been killed by you, can you let us go? What do you think? Chen Mu asked back. Katakuri pulled out the knife and fork behind his back, looked at Chen Mu and suppressed the fear in his heart, and said, Chen Mu, if you still feel uneasy, fight with me. I hope. You can. Smoothie. Cracker is dead, this is an unchangeable ending. That being the case, Katakuri is willing to use his own life in exchange for Smoothie leaving safely. This is the realization he carries as a child of Charlotte Linlin. I really appreciate your character, Katakuri. Even in the face of an enemy like Chen Mu, he dared to say the word challenge. But Katakuri did this not for himself, nor because he thought he could defeat Chen Mu. All he wanted to do was to let Chen Mu relieve his anger, so that Chen Mu could appease their anger of attacking the Fishmen Island. So let Smoothie go. Katakuri is different from other selfish pirates, and the consciousness he bears is unimaginable to ordinary people. This is exactly what Chen Mu appreciates, which is a unique flower among pirates who can be regarded as unstained from silt. Come on. Chen Mu beckoned. As Chen Mu's voice fell, Katakuri rushed towards Chen Mu with a long fork in hand. Is this all your power, Katakuri? But he felt that the long fork had struck an indestructible hard object. Accompanied by a crisp sound, the long fork in Katakuri's hand was as fragile as glass, it shattered directly, and scattered fragments fell to the ground. The vibration transmitted from the long fork made Katakuri's arms a little numb. I saw that his weapon was quickly wrapped around the arm collar, and then he swung his long fork and slashed at Chen Mu. Snapped. This battle is a crushing situation without any suspense. Although Katakuri is very talented, he will become the strongest pirate under Charlotte Linlin in the future. Katakuri exclaimed, his weapon slashed at Chen Mu's body, but the other party was fine. But Katakuri's upper limit is only at the level of the Emperor's deputy, and not the strongest single and second. Katakuri's long fork collided with Chen Mu's arm. In addition, the current Katakuri is in the growth stage, and his strength has not yet reached the level of the future. Just when Katakuri wanted to take back the long fork and start attacking again, Lee's so strong. Boom. With Chen Mu's arm exerting a little force, dense cracks appeared directly on the long fork wrapped around the armed collar. Chen Mu held Katakuri's long fork with his backhand. No matter how hard Katakuri tried, the long fork was still firmly held by Chen Mu in his hand. Chen Mu didn't even entangle armament hockey, so he easily defended against Katakuri's attack. 181 Chen Mu offers a bounty of 6.7 billion, and Chen Mu, as early as a few years ago, was able to defeat the 5 elders. In the past few years of disappearance, Chen Mu's strength has been improved again. The height he occupies is beyond reach even if Katakuri works hard all his life. Although the long fork in Katakuri's hand was destroyed, he still has the devil fruit ability that has not been used yet. I saw a layer of extremely hard glutinous rice was wrapped around his arm, and then a layer of armed color was wrapped around his arm, and he rushed towards Chen Mu again. Corn rice cake. Katakuri slammed lightly and charged at Chen Mu. Your awareness is enough for Katakuri. Boom. Chen Mu's body appeared directly in front of Katakuri like a ghost, and before he could react, he punched Katakuri's abdomen. Puff. After receiving Chen Mu's punch, Katakuri spat out blood, half kneeled on the ground, and then passed out with his eyes turning white. Chen Mu didn't kill Katakuri, after all, it wasn't him who attacked the Fishmen Island. Chen Mu doesn't have much interest in killing those who admire and do not make mistakes in front of his eyes. Second. Instakill. Katakuri was instantly killed by Mr. Chen Mu. Jinbei and Arlong were a little surprised, 907 in their eyes, the invincible enemy couldn't even survive a single move in Chen Mu's hands, and was killed instantly. The two of them at this moment, because they witnessed Chen Mu's strength with their own eyes, understood how terrifying Chen Mu really is. After defeating Katakuri, Chen Mu put his eyes on Smoothie and said coldly, next, take me to find Charlotte Linlin. This attack on the Fishmen Island was ordered by Charlotte Linlin. And it was Cracker who was in charge, and Cracker has been killed by Chen Mu now. As for Charlotte Linlin, Chen Mu naturally has to give her a little trouble. Smoothie didn't dare to look directly into Chen Mu's gaze, and slightly lowered his head and said, yes, Master Chen Mu. Chen Mu grabbed Katakuri by the cuff and threw him to Smoothie. Chen Mu put his eyes on Tiger and said calmly, With me here, the Fishmen Island will not become anyone's vassal state. Of course, with brother Chen Mu here, the Fishmen Island will not succumb to anyone. Tiger nodded with a smile. After a brief chat with Tiger, Chen Mu once again focused on Smoothie and said, let's go. Chen Mu originally bathed across the Fishmen Island, went to New World to find Vegapunk, and took Devil Fruit to upgrade his abilities. But now, Charlotte Linlin generally refers to the Fishmen Island he sheltered, after going to Charlotte Linlin for trouble. Go find Vegapunk again. New World, Wano-kuni shore. Whitebeard's ship, docked on the coast. At this time, on the island, all the members of the Whitebeard pirates gathered together, eating barbecue and drinking fine wine. I saw Whitebeard raise the wine glass in his hand, clinked a glass with Odin, and then drank freely. Sitting on a rock, Odin stared at Whitebeard and begged, Edward, let me join your pirate party. Before Whitebeard could speak, Kinnaman, who was sitting beside him, said, Master Odin, I advise you to give up the idea of going to sea. With your status, it is not suitable for you to go sailing and become a pirate. Odin's father is none other than Wano-kuni General Kazuki Sukiyaki. As his son, Odin will definitely inherit the family business and become a general of Wano-kuni in the future. So, Kinnaman will never let Odin leave the country. Whitebeard shook his head slightly and said, So Lala, Odin, although I really want to invite you to join my ship, but, as he said, you are not suitable to sail as a pirate. Hearing this, Odin lay helplessly on the ground, sprawled all over and said, Hey, I really want to go on a sea adventure. Being the son of General Wano-kuni is really troublesome. Master Odin, you're starting to talk like that again, Kinnaman sighed helplessly. Odin suddenly sat down, looked at Whitebeard and asked, Edward, do you know this man Chen Mu? Although Odin has been in Wano-kuni all year round, he knows almost nothing about the outside world. But, on a certain day a few years ago, a newsbird flew high above the coast and dropped several newspapers. And what was reported in the newspaper was about Chen Mu's deeds. See, Chen Mu's fame spread around the world, and what he does. This goes even further with Odin's desire to go to sea. He is also full of curiosity about Chen Mu. Chen Mu? Hearing Chen Mu's name, Whitebeard also fell into deep thought. He hasn't seen Chen Mu for too long since the Battle of the Valley of the Gods. Similarly, there has been no news about Chen Mu in this sea in recent years. After Odin's reminder, Whitebeard also fell into the memory of Chen Mu. Marco on the side interjected. I heard from my father, Chen Mu is the strongest man in the New World today, and the bounty is as high as 6.7 billion Baileys. After Chen Mu attacked the holy place Marijoy for the second time, the bounty increased to 6 billion Baileys. Then they defeated Sengoku, and defeated the combination of Silver Axe, Ochaku, Ask, Kaido, and Burndi on an isolated island in New World. His bounty has now increased to astronomical figures. 6.7 billion Baileys, Odin gaped. 6.7 billion Baileys, for them Wano-kuni, is a huge sum of money. Odin can't imagine what a terrible man is, who can be offered a reward of this level. Joes, who was eating barbecue, raised his head slightly and asked, but speaking of which, Dad, what happened to Chen Mu these years? Why haven't we heard any news about him? I don't know about this either. Chen Mu is a mysterious man. Although I have been with him for many years, I still don't know much about him. Whitebeard shook his head slightly, regretting. Chen Mu's degree of mystery is extremely high, even the days can't see through Chen Mu. As for why Chen Mu disappeared these past few years, he doesn't even know. But Dad, I remember you said before that you wanted to take us to see Chen Mu. It's been so many years, Dad, you haven't fulfilled your promise. A crew member reminded. As early as a few years ago, when they watched Chen Mu's reward order. Whitebeard once told them that if he had the opportunity, he would take them to know Chen Mu, the strongest man in the world. But to this day, although they have heard a lot of legends about Chen Mu and read news about Chen Mu, but never met Chen Mu with his own eyes. 182 arrive at Wango Cake Island. So really, I really want to meet Chen Mu, but that guy has always been alone. After Whitebeard finished speaking, he suddenly thought of something and rubbed his chin and continued, but I remember that Chen Mu and I left the Valley of the Gods as if we exchanged phone bug numbers once. Whitebeard suddenly thought about the past of the Valley of the Gods, when Captain Rox stayed behind. Then Garp and Sengoku chased them out. He blocked them with Chen Mu and retreated successfully. Afterwards, when the two were separated, they exchanged phone numbers with each other. After hearing this, Odin said excitedly, Then Edward, you mean that you can contact Chen Mu? Since Whitebeard has Chen Mu's phone bug number, they must be able to contact each other. Yes. After hearing this, Marco hurriedly urged, Then Dad, hurry up and call Chen Mu's phone bug to contact him, we also want to meet him. Yes, Dad, we have been in the sea for so many years, but we have never seen Chen Mu with our own eyes, so please grant our wish. Josie also begged. In terms of this sea, the most prestigious pirate is only Chen Mu's. Chen Mu's fame in the New World now even surpasses the Overlord Rox of the previous era. A strong person like Chen Mu is the target of countless pirates. It is impossible to say that Marco and others, as pirates, are not interested in top figures like Chen Mu. If we want to contact Chen Mu, it seems that we have to go back to our hometown, because I didn't take the phone bug that I exchanged numbers with Chen Mu, but I left it in my hometown. Whitebeard nodded. Whitebeard himself thinks that if Chen Mu doesn't bother him, he didn't bother Chen Mu either, and let the two sides develop their own forces. But now, Whitebeard's power has developed very well. And the two have never been in contact. Chen Mu is Whitebeard's first friend and first family member in the Rocks group. Now, Whitebeard also wants to contact Chen Mu again to catch up. Then Dad, let's go home and hang out. After hearing this, Odin quickly said, Edward, take me with you, I'm going too, I also want to meet this man named Chen Mu. Odin, you'd better stay in Wano Kuni obediently, I can't take you out to sea. Whitebeard stood up and shook his head slightly. But I'll come back to see you again. Whitebeard led many pirates and began to return to the ship, wanting to go back to his hometown to take out the phone bug with Chen Mu's number recorded and contact him. Odin watched Whitebeard's leaving figure, and did not give up, but was thinking about how to keep up with Whitebeard's boat later. The other side, Chen Mu, Katakuri, and Smoothie soon came to the site of New World Charlotte Linlin, Wango. And on the coast, a person wearing a clown-like costume and holding a huge lollipop in his hand is waiting for the return of several people. He is Perospero. He is the first son of Charlotte Linlin, and his strength is not even weaker than the three generals. Perospero saw the return of several people, licked the huge lollipop in his hand, and asked with a pervert smile on his face, Katakuri, you are back, has the Fishmen Island been recovered? Before Katakuri and the others could reply, Perospero looked at Chen Mu again, and asked with some doubts, Katakuri, who is he? Where did Cracker go? Perospero saw the return of the three and thought they were Katakuri, Smoothie and Cracker. But when the three landed on the island, he found that Cracker was nowhere to be seen, and Chen Mu was standing next to them. At this time, Perospero felt that the man standing beside Katakuri was very similar to Chen Mu. But thinking about it carefully, Chen Mu has disappeared in this sea for several years. Besides, why did Chen Mu go to their Bigmom pirates? It was because of this suspicion in his heart that Perospero didn't think the man in front of him was Chen Mu. Hearing Perospero mention Cracker's name, Katakuri's face immediately became serious. At this time, he hated his weakness very much, hated himself for not protecting his younger brother well. On the side, Smoothie was about to say something, only to hear a vibration from the ground. Zero looking for flowers. Not far away, a fat woman came over, followed by countless children. She is the captain of the Bigmom pirates, Junlot Linlin. Charlotte Linlin didn't notice Chen Mu. Seeing Katakuri's return, she couldn't help but licked her lips and asked, Mama, Katakuri, did you bring back the dessert from the Fishmen Island? To say why Charlotte Linlin attacked the Fishmen Island and made the Fishmen Island their vassal state. It is precisely because Charlotte Linlin likes desserts, she can't stop eating desserts from the Fishmen Island. Because of this, she sent Katakuri and others to take back the Fishmen Island. Seeing that Perospero and Charlotte Linlin didn't recognize him, Chen Shu spread his arms and smiled and said, Am I being ignored? Who is your boy? When Charlotte Linlin set her eyes on Chen Mu for the first time, her mind was always thinking of desserts, so she didn't react right away. Chen Mu. But in the next second, the thought of eating dessert in her mind disappeared, replaced by surprise. Because, the man standing in front of her is none other than Chen Mu, who has a bounty of 6.7 billion berries. The huge lollipop in Perospero's hand fell directly to the ground, cold sweat broke out on his forehead, and his lips trembled. Chen Mu. He really is Chen Mu. He thought it was a fake, but he didn't expect that the real Chen Mu stood in front of him. What? Chen Mu. Chen Mu. Why did you come to our world? Chen Mu is the strongest man in this ocean, how could he appear here? The pirate standing next to Charlotte Linlin, after noticing Chen Mu, everyone was startled, their expressions extremely frightened. Obviously, without exception, they have all heard of Chen Mu's name, and they also know how famous Chen Mu is in this sea. I thought that in the past few years when I disappeared, this sea has forgotten me for 183 Chen Mu vs Charlotte Linlin. Charlotte Linlin watched Chen Mu vigilantly and asked, Why are you here, Chen Mu? Logically speaking, she has nothing to do with Chen Mu. Whether it was on the Rocks Regiment ship, or in the years since the Battle of the Valley of the Gods ended. She has never provoked Chen Mu, let alone had any contact with him. But now, Chen Mu appeared in her territory, which surprised him somewhat. The Fishmen Island is my shelter. You send people to take back the Fishmen Island. Do you think I will just sit back and ignore it? Chen Shu said indifferently. Among the main cadres of the Rocks Regiment, all the cadres have more or less relationship with Chen Mu. Either an enemy or a friend. Only he has no disputes with Charlotte Linlin, neither enemy nor friend. The two of 630 should have had no intersection at all, but what Charlotte Linlin is doing now has annoyed Chen Mu. Charlotte Linlin's brows were tightly furrowed, both eyes fixed on Chen Mu, and said in a cold voice, Are you trying to find trouble with me on purpose, Chen Mu? I've never heard that the Fishmen Island is your shelter. I didn't say it, it doesn't mean that the fact that I sheltered the Fishmen Island is false. Then, is your purpose of coming today to seek revenge? It seems that you are also very clear about my purpose today. Boom. As soon as Chen Mu's voice fell, Charlotte Linlin's fist hit him directly. There was only a loud noise, and a huge deep pit appeared at the position where Chen Mu was just now. You must know that when Charlotte Linlin was in the Rocks Regiment, she was the absolute main force on the ship. It can almost be said that it is as famous as Golden Lion and Whitebeard, and its strength is comparable. After so many years of development, she has grown and improved in strength, and now Charlotte Linlin's strength is no less than Marine Admiral's. Chen Mu easily dodged the attack, appeared in the distance and said calmly, "You are really impatient, Linlin. If you came here today to trouble me, I will naturally act first." It is impossible to say that Charlotte Linlin has no fear of Chen Mu. After all, a few years ago, Chen Mu's record was too loud. Although she has never fought Chen Mu personally, she just watched the news about Chen Mu. Charlotte Linlin can feel how terrifying Chen Mu's strength is. However, fear is nothing but fear. Now that Chen Mu is coming to trouble her, she can't obediently admit to being cowardly. Napoleon. I'm here, Mom. The hat on Charlotte Linlin's head turned into a big sword and was held in her hand. Leave my place now. I will never blame you for what you have done, Chen Mu. Charlotte Linlin stared at Chen Shu vigilantly while holding the big sword in both hands and said coldly. At this time, she naturally noticed that Cracker was gone. And also noticed that Katakori's face was very gloomy. Charlotte's age has been guessed, and Cracker died at the hands of Chen Mu. If it was normal, if someone dared to kill the 3 generals she was proud of, she would definitely take revenge. But, her current enemy is Chen Mu. She could even ignore Cracker's death if she could avoid a conflict with Chen Mu. Chen Mu sneered and said, "Don't blame the past, you really know how to talk, Linlin. Sending people to take back my territory can't be brushed off by you so lightly. In other words, we have nothing to talk about." Charlotte Linlin asked with a gloomy expression on her face. With a trace of contempt on Chen Mu's face, he said calmly, "What qualifications do you have to talk to me?" Weo. Charlotte Linlin knew that the battle between the two was inevitable. Instead of letting Chen Mu attack, let him strike first. Charlotte Linlin clasped the Emperor's sword tightly with both hands, and then used all her strength to send out a sword aura, attacking Chen Mu. Sword chi vertically and horizontally, terrifying power poured out, a purple sword chi rushed towards Chen Mu with extremely terrifying destructive power. Weiguo's move is exactly the terrifying move that Charlotte Linlin learned from the giant tribe, possessing the power to sweep everything away. The terrifying purple sword energy appeared in front of Chen Mu's eyes in the blink of an eye. I saw Chen Mu looked calm, then stretched out an arm, slightly opened his palm, and directly held the sword energy with one hand. Boom. The sword energy collided with Chen Mu's palm, and a loud noise erupted immediately, and the momentum shook the area with a radius of 100 meters. The ground plane was even more shattered by this airflow. Hit Chen Mu. Weiguo is one of Mom's strongest swordsmanship moves. Even if Chen Mu is hit by such an attack, will he be seriously injured? So this is Chen Mu's strength. It doesn't feel good. It seems that compared to Chen Mu, my mother is stronger. The children standing beside Charlotte Linlin saw that Chen Mu did not escape Charlotte Linlin's attack. It was immediately revealed on their faces. As members of the BIGMOM pirates, they naturally knew how terrifying Weiguo's power was. In their view, even a strong man like Chen Mu would have to suffer quite a bit of injury if he received Charlotte Linlin's attack. As the smoke dissipated, Chen Mu met Charlotte Linlin's attack without any damage on his body, and stood calmly on the spot. Single. Took over mother's prestige with one hand. Perospero saw the scene in front of him, and the panic in his heart became more vigorous. He saw with his own eyes just now, when Linlin's attack came when Chen Mu was really falling. Without using any ability, he only stretched out a palm to defend against Charlotte Linlin's attack. Finally it worked. How? 1.3. How is it possible? Unscathed. After taking over mother's prestige, Chen Mu didn't even leave any wounds on her body. This Chen Mu's strength. The many pirates who were originally in a state of excitement stopped abruptly after seeing the scene in front of them. The excitement in their hearts was swept away. Instead, there is trepidation at Chen Mu's strength. Are you just like that too, Linlin? You're too weak. With his hands behind his back, Chen Mu stared at Charlotte Linlin calmly. During the journey of searching for the Millennium Dragon in the past few years, Chen Mu has cultivated the power of copper skin and iron bone to a high level. Nowadays, even if Chen Mu's body is not wrapped around armament hockey, the hardness of his skin is already infinitely close to the hardness of a diamond. 184 Charlotte Linlin craving episodes. For Chen Mu, any physical attack is almost ineffective. You bastard, don't underestimate me. Charlotte Linlin's complexion sank. Tian Man da zi zai God. Accompanied by Charlotte Linlin's light slap, Zeus next to her fell into a berserk state. Countless thunder and lightning flew away from Zeus, but the place where the thunder and lightning struck was not Chen Mu, but the sky. It can be seen that the original sun remained the same, and the cloudless sky suddenly became dark, and countless dense dark clouds appeared in the sky, and there were thunder and lightning. After Zeus' lightning passed through the clouds, it was greatly strengthened. Boom, boom, countless thunderbolts struck out from the dark clouds and struck towards Chen Mu. Wood style, wood dragon technique. Chen Mu slammed lightly, and in the next second, a huge wooden dragon appeared in front of him. The wooden dragon has a huge body, covered with barbs, sharp teeth and sharp claws. Roar. Accompanied by a dragon cry, the wooden dragon flew towards Chen Mu's height, and directly blocked all the thunder and lightning with his body. These lightnings seemed to be tickling the wooden dragon. No matter how many lightning strikes, the wooden dragon's body could be said to be almost without a trace of damage. After the wooden dragon resisted the next wave of lightning, it appeared in front of thundercloud Zeus in the blink of an eye like a flying bow and arrow. Mother. Zeus, who was in a state of rage, saw that the wooden dragon was about to hit it, and shouted out of fear. But, before Charlotte Linlin could take back thundercloud Zeus, the body of the wooden dragon hit Zeus directly. Boom. Accompanied by a loud noise, Lion Zeus was directly hit by the wooden dragon and vomited blood, and then his body was directly thrown hundreds of meters away, and fell heavily in the ruins, falling into a coma. Zeus. Seeing Zeus being blown away so easily, Charlotte Linlin's pupils shrank violently and shouted. It's so strong, it actually knocked down Mother's Zeus directly. Mom, can mommy defeat this terrible monster? I feel that my mother is not his opponent, Chen Mu's strength is too strong. But, damn it, why do we have to provoke such a strong man? It will bring us a catastrophe. Although these people are the children of Charlotte Linlin, they are also very confident in Charlotte Linlin's strength. But, if the opponent is Chen Mu, they feel a burst of despair at this moment. But from the brief exchange of moves between the two, it can be seen that Chen Mu's strength is far above Charlotte Linlin's. At this time, they all regretted it very much, and brought back the dessert from the Fishmen Island to Charlotte Linlin. If not, Charlotte Linlin would not want to regain the Fishmen Island, and would not have provoked Chen Mu. Seeing the scene in front of him, Sparrow couldn't help swallowing a mouthful of saliva and said in horror, Hey, this strength is simply invincible. At this time, he was slowly retreating backwards, wanting to leave this place of right and wrong. In his opinion, life is the most important thing. Mom, isn't Chen Mu's opponent? Katakuri slumped on the ground helplessly, his expression extremely serious. Chen Mu's ability to kill him instantly can be said to have shattered most of his pride. When he saw that his mother couldn't compete with Chen Mu, he completely lost all his pride in being a child of Charlotte Linlin. Chen Mu. After Charlotte Linlin saw Zeus being blown away, her aura rose steadily, and even her pupils turned blood red. But Charlotte Linlin did this not because she was angry, but because she was suffering from cravings. Oops, because Brother Katakuri didn't bring back the dessert from the Fishmen Island, my mother's craving for food has broken out. No, the situation may not be so bad. When my mother had cravings, she would go into a frenzy. Now my mother, maybe she can beat Chen Mu. That's right, I'm saying that, on weekdays, my mother's craving attack is the most troublesome thing for us, but now maybe it's a chance to defeat Chen Mu. Charlotte Linlin, who has entered eating disorder, if she doesn't eat the food she wants in time, it will enter a state of madness and destroy everything around it. But now Charlotte Linlin's cravings are on the attack, and the first sentence she speaks is not the dessert of the Fishmen Island. It's Chen Mu, that is to say, Charlotte Linlin, who is now in a state of rage, has already regarded Chen Mu as her target. Unless Chen Mu falls, otherwise, Charlotte Linlin will forget the fear of Chen Mu in her heart and start an endless attack. Boom, boom, boom. Charlotte Linlin took big strides, and every time she took a step, the ground trembled a little. She held the Emperor's sword and quickly came to Chen Mu. She held up the Emperor's sword and slashed at Chen Mu with all her strength. Did you have an eating disorder attack? In this state, you really seem to be fearless, Linlin, then let me play with you for a while. 890. From the frog's room, Chen Mu took out a supremely sharp knife that he had obtained in the treasure vault of the evil ghost pirates. Boom. The Emperor's sword in Charlotte Linlin's hand has not yet collided with the supreme sword in Chen Mu's hand. Then a terrifying airflow erupted, and purple-black electric sparks appeared in the center of the blades of the two of them, stirring all directions. Terrible ripples swayed in all directions, and no one dared to approach the area within a radius of 100 meters between the two of them. Once you get close, you will be swept away by this force, and you will be severely injured if it is light, and you will die on the spot if it is serious. Bang bang bang. The blades of the two collided continuously, and a deafening sound burst out, spreading throughout the world. Although Chen Mu doesn't know swordsmanship, his physical skills are extremely terrifying. The so-called one-strength reduction of 10 skills, as long as it has enough terrifying power, any weapon can be used smoothly. When, accompanied by the sound of metal clashing, the Emperor's sword in Charlotte Linlin's hand was directly sent flying by Chen Mu. Shua. Chen Mu held the supreme sharp knife with one hand, and then slashed towards Charlotte Linlin's body with a little force. In the next second, a hideous scar appeared on Charlotte Linlin's abdomen, and a large amount of blood flew out directly. 185 The battle is over, Chen Mu wins. You know, Charlotte Linlin's body is made of copper skin and iron bones. Like Chen Mu, Charlotte Linlin's physique has also been cultivated to an advanced level. The defense power of her current body is extremely astonishing, but it is this terrible defense power that was broken by Chen Mu with a knife. Moreover, at the critical moment, Chen Mu also withdrew the power of armament hockey. Simply using brute force and the sharpness of the supreme sharp knife cut through Charlotte Linlin's defense. Smoothie, who has always been silent, saw the scene in front of him, his forehead broke out in cold sweat, and he said in disbelief, How? How is it possible? Chen Mu's attack plant broke through Mother's defense. Katakuri, who was the calmest, couldn't help but gasped, and said in shock, Mom's body has the strongest defense in the world, and, was it broken by Chen Mu? No. No, Chen Mu is too strong, Mom is no match at all. Chen Mu's strength is really as rumored. It is impossible for anyone to defeat him, that is, even if it is a mother. Why don't we run away quickly? No, or it will be our turn later. Quick, run away. Many children of Charlotte Linlin chose to run away after seeing this scene. Even though they knew that what Charlotte Linlin hated the most was betrayal, once she betrayed her. In light cases, the soul is drawn out, and the age is deducted. If it is serious, it will directly die. But now, they can't care so much anymore, out of ultimate fear of Chen Mu. Let them have only one thought in their minds now, and that is to escape from this place of right and wrong as soon as possible. Chen Mu, you bastard. With Charlotte Linlin's huge body, she took several steps backwards to stabilize her body. Her cravings were also directly slashed by Chen Mu's knife, and she came to her senses. At this moment, she could clearly feel the pain in her abdomen. You know, since joining the Rocks group and becoming a pirate, few people have been able to break through her defenses. And someone like Chen Mu who can easily break through the defense is unique in this sea. The defense is stronger than I imagined. Chen Mu smacked his tongue. Thanks to Charlotte Linlin's terrifying physique. If other people were hit by Chen Mu's knife, they would be seriously injured and fall to the ground if they didn't die. Mother. And at this moment, Zeus, covered in blood, returned to Chen Mu's side again. Although Zeus did not die after being hit by the wooden dragon, his injuries were very serious. Prometheus. Charlotte Linlin let out a low growl, and in the next second a fireball like a sun appeared on the other side of her body. I don't believe it, you can resist my next move. Charlotte Linlin stared at Chen Mu with a gloomy face, and sneered. Sound cannon. Following Charlotte Linlin's slap, Prometheus covered the end of the Emperor's sword, and the blade passed through Zeus, forming an energy ring. I saw Charlotte Linlin holding the Emperor's sword tightly with both hands, which was covered with armed colors and Conqueror's power. After Charlotte Linlin charged for a short period of time, a sword energy 10 times stronger than Weo was released. A sword energy containing armed colors, Conquerors, lightning, and flame power, like a blow from a god, attacked Chen Mu with an unstoppable attack that destroyed everything. Along the way, a bottomless chasm was left, and the ground formed by countless hard candies was completely destroyed and flew into the air. This is Mom's strongest move, Mom hasn't lost yet. Or, maybe, this trick has the possibility to defeat Chen Mu, we must have full confidence in our mother. Although Chen Mu is very strong, she is not invincible. Come on, Mom. Those children who have not yet escaped always have faith in Charlotte Linlin's strength. Seeing Charlotte Linlin perform such devastating moves, they naturally rekindled their hope of victory. Smoothie worked hard to calm down his nervous mood, pinned his hopes on this attack, and said, under this move, it is estimated that the winner will be decided, and I hope Mom will not lose. Once Charlotte Linlin is defeated, presumably the entire 10,000 kingdoms will also be destroyed by Chen Mu. Do you want to end this battle so soon? Then I will naturally satisfy you. Chen Mu knew that the attack launched by Charlotte Linlin was the strongest move she had mastered so far. Now that Charlotte Linlin no longer retains her own strength, she will fight with all her strength. Then Chen Mu naturally didn't need to keep his strength. Wood style, the tree world is coming. Chen Mu clasped his palms together, and the ground beneath his feet roared loudly in the next second. A sound that passed through the sky spread throughout the entire 10,000 kingdoms, and all the buildings within a radius of hundreds of meters were reduced to ruins in an instant. Puff. But, not completely destroyed. The speed of the trees that came out of the ground was so fast that it could exceed the speed of sound, and everyone only heard a sound boom. The next second, countless trees directly hit Zongluo Linlin's abdomen. Then with a thought, countless trees flew out, rushing towards Charlotte Linlin's strongest blow with the momentum of destroying the enemy. Chen Mu wrapped a layer of armed color on all the trees that rose from the ground. I saw countless trees rising from the ground, first from a small tree, it grew into a towering ancient tree in an instant. Boom. Countless dense trees appeared beside Chen Mu, like a mountain, carrying a terrifying aura. Whoosh. The terrifying power directly shook away all the dark clouds in the sky, and the sky was restored to light again. Her huge body was directly knocked into a distance of tens of meters, and then fell heavily to the ground. After the attacks collided for a moment deserved, after the ripples were completely dissipated, everyone could see that Charlotte Linlin's light cannon destroyed a large number of trees released by Chen Mu. You know, Chen Mu's current wood style has reached the advanced stage. Charlotte Linlin spat out blood from her mouth, supporting her body with difficulty, not letting herself fall down completely. Compared with a few years ago, the power has increased by many times. In other words, from the ground grew new trees wrapped around the top of the weapon. Defeated, lost, completely defeated, hopeless, Mother can't possibly be Chen Mu's opponent. Or to put it another way, almost no one in the entire new world is Chen Mu's opponent. Quote. 186 Destroy all nations, leave. Damn it, why do RBIGMOM pirates have to face such a terrible enemy? What to do? Mother has already lost, what should we do? Will we die here? I don't want to die. Seeing the scene in front of them, countless pirates slumped on the ground, feeling deep despair and helplessness. Even Charlotte Linlin is no match for Chen Mu, what can they do now? Seeing the scene in front of him, Smoothie couldn't help taking a deep breath. Yin Luo said, sure enough, isn't Mom Chen Shu's opponent? At this time, she also had the idea of escape in her heart. Mother. Seeing Charlotte Linlin fell to the ground, Katakuri rushed over quickly, wanting to check her injuries. Don't come here, Katakuri. Charlotte Linlin snapped. Chen Mu's strength is much more terrifying than she imagined, and Katakuri can't help her at all. Charlotte Linlin looked at Chen Mu who was approaching her step by step. The fear in her heart was gone, and she said forcefully, to die by your hands is also a good destination for me, Chen Mu. 693. Although Charlotte Linlin dreams of becoming One Piece, becoming the overlord of the sea. But she knew that with Chen Mu around, no one could do this kind of thing. Chen Mu's strength is a terrifying existence that overwhelms all the big pirates in the sea. Charlotte Linlin lost to Chen Mu, and now she is naturally willing to die in Chen Mu's hands. Chen Mu said lightly, do you really want to die that much? Then will you let me go? Won't. It was Charlotte Linlin who gave the order to attack the Fishmen island he sheltered. How could he let Charlotte Linlin go? Then there is nothing to say. As a pirate, I have already bet everything on this sea. I have expected death. Charlotte Linlin looked at Chen Mu calmly. Before dying, she did not beg for mercy, let alone kneel down to ask Chen Mu for forgiveness. Instead, she decided to face her own life calmly. I have to say that Charlotte Linlin deserves to be the 4 emperors of the future. Her courage are not possessed by other great pirates. Yeah, as Chen Mu's voice fell, Chen Mu directly transformed into a dragon in the next second. His huge body could even block the sun and plunge the entire kingdom into darkness. After entering the dragon form, Chen Mu can suppress countless pirates just by his aura. Roar. A dragon's chant spread across the sky, and the whole world was shaken by it. It can be seen that a group of terrible energy fireballs appeared in the huge mouth of Chen Mu after the dragon form. The moment the fireball appeared, the space around Chen Mu also distorted, and the scorching heat directly melted countless candies from Wango. Countless pirates seemed to be on the surface of the sun, the terrifying temperature made them faint on the spot. Mother. Katakuri knew that if Charlotte Linlin forcibly resisted this blow, she might die, and couldn't help but worry on the spot. And at this time, behind Katakuri, a mirror suddenly appeared, and it was arranged when he walked out of the mirror from the tribute road. She is the mirror fruit ability holder. Brother Katakuri, fast forward to the world in the mirror, or you will die. After Bree appeared, he quickly pulled Katakuri, trying to pull him into the mirror. No, I am willing to die with my mother. But Katakuri was unmoved, and his eyes were firmly fixed on Charlotte Linlin. He decided to die with Charlotte Linlin. Seeing Chen Mu above his head about to launch an attack, Bree reminded anxiously, Brother Katakuri, don't worry, Mom won't die. After Bree's reminder, Katakuri noticed that behind Charlotte Linlin, there were pieces of broken mirrors scattered on the ground. It was the mirror that Charlotte Ling's body hit on the building and fell from the building just now. If there is a mirror, that means Charlotte Linlin can also enter the mirror world. I see. Thinking of this, Katakuri quickly entered the mirror without hesitation, and Smoothie also entered the mirror. They can enter the mirror world, but the other pirates are not so lucky. It's so high, I feel like I'm going to be melted. Hurry up. Run away. Otherwise we will only have a dead end. No. It can't be done, it's too late, we can't escape, we decided to run away too late, Chen Mu's attack is impossible for us to dodge of. But, damn it, I should have abandoned my mother and escaped earlier, now, all that awaits us now is death. I want to live, I don't want to die. Countless pirates slumped on the ground. Although they really wanted to escape, they also knew that it was a waste of effort. They could see that Chen Mu's fireball attack range was extremely wide. In addition, Chen Mu's revenge has been completed. Oh, didn't hit Charlotte Linlin. Puff. Boom. After Chen Mu turned on the observation hockey, he couldn't feel the breath of Charlotte Linlin at all, and he didn't even see the corpse. And the fireball didn't have the impact feeling from hitting a hard object at all. I regret that I didn't escape at the first time, and I regret that I appeared by Charlotte Linlin's side today. There is no doubt that Charlotte Linlin is still alive and was not hit by the fireball. Chen Mu did not choose to continue chasing Charlotte Linlin, because she didn't know where the other party was now. Now they all fell into deep regret, regretting being the children of Charlotte Linlin. The fireballs in Chen Mu's mouth gathered together, and then forcefully spit out a huge fireball. Charlotte Linlin sent troops to retake the Fishmen Island, and he was to destroy Charlotte Linlin's nations. Even if they grow 10 legs, they can't escape the range of the explosion at all. Forget it, time to find Vegapunk. There was a huge noise, and the power of the fireball almost swept across the entire kingdom. The surface temperature of the fireball has reached several thousand degrees Celsius, and before it is completely close to the ground, it can be seen that countless candies are melting and evaporating at a speed visible to the naked eye. Chasing is just a waste of time. Instead of wasting time looking for Charlotte Linlin, it is better to look for pets. A large crater nearly 100 meters wide appeared in the center of the island under Chen Mu, and the entire Candy Island was torn apart, and then sank into the deep sea. Preparations for 187 Naval Headquarters. Within a few days, the news that Chen Mu was sailing again spread across the sea. New World, Moby Dick, Whitebeard's ship. Whitebeard sat on the sofa in the middle of the deck, surrounded by countless pirates, and they were reading a newspaper together. Among them is Odin. Originally, Whitebeard did not agree to Odin's boarding. But when their ship set sail, Odin secretly hung them on the rails with ropes, and finally stayed at sea for 3 days and 3 nights. Finally, Whitebeard was moved by Odin's perseverance and agreed to let him board the boat and take him to sea together. Whitebeard stared at the contents of the newspaper and laughed loudly, so la la la. After 5 years, did Chen Mu go to sea and destroy Charlotte Linlin's 10,000 kingdoms? Standing beside Whitebeard, a pirate with a bounty of more than 1 billion Baileys couldn't help exclaiming, "It's so strong, Charlotte Linlin's bounty is as high as 3.7 billion Baileys in New World. There are countless unexpectedly, this kind of power will be wiped out by Chen Mu. It's really scary. I didn't expect that even a terrifying existence like Charlotte Linlin can't compete with Chen Mu." Charlotte Linlin's power is mainly based on Cake Island, surrounded by 34 islands dotted around, and is governed by 34 ministers. The general name of this sea area is Toto Land. Today, although the 34 islands have not been destroyed, Cake Island has been sunk. Charlotte Linlin's life and death are unknown, and this can be regarded as a country that has been wiped out in the true sense. After hearing about Charlotte Linlin's bounty, Odin, who was on the side, was a little surprised and said, "This woman's bounty 3.7 billion belly." Although this is the first time for Odin to go to sea, he doesn't have much idea of the strength of the bounty pirates. But, Odin knows that Whitebeard's current bounty is 4 billion Baileys. The bounty for this pirate who was destroyed by Chen Mu is only 300 million Baileys lower than that of Whitebeard. In other words, Charlotte Linlin's strength is not inferior to Whitebeard's too much. Odin is in Wano Kuni, but he has played against Whitebeard for a short time, he knows exactly how terrifying Whitebeard's strength is. Since Chen Mu has the strength to destroy Charlotte Linlin, it means that even Whitebeard is not his opponent. Although Odin doesn't know the specific strength of Chen Mu very well, but, just through the conversion, he can guess how amazing Chen Mu's strength has reached. I feel that Chen Mu's strength has been improved compared to a few years ago. You know, a few years ago, Chen Mu was able to enter and leave the Holy Land, countering Marine's Buster Call, and was even able to fight back and kill 2 of New World's top 5 big pirates. 5 years ago, Chen Mu's strength was far beyond their imagination. Now, in the 5 years since Chen Mu disappeared, his strength has improved again. As for how far they have been promoted, they dare not imagine, nor can they imagine. But he can roughly guess that Chen Mu's current strength alone is likely to be enough to compete with Naval Headquarters. Marco wiped the cold sweat off his brow at this moment, and couldn't help sighing. Fortunately, Dad and Chen Mu are friends, not enemies. Marco couldn't imagine that if they're Whitebeard pirates and Chen Mu were not friends. But standing on the opposite side of Chen Mu. This kind of thing that makes the scalp tingle just thinking about it, Marco didn't even dare to think about it. Xiao Zi, who was on the side, asked with some concern, "But father, we will meet Chen Mu in a short time. Will he hurt us? Since Chen Mu possesses the strength to destroy Charlotte Linlin and Wango. That is to say, their Whitebeard pirates are not Chen Mu's opponent." Although Joes knew that Whitebeard and Chen Mu were friends, but, thinking that they would meet such a terrifying man soon. Inevitably, there are still some concerns. Whitebeard looked at the two of them, couldn't help laughing and said, "You two little fellows, didn't you mention that you wanted to see Chen Mu?" "I want to see, but I'm afraid he will hurt us," Marco said in a low voice. "Don't worry, I know Chen Mu's character very well. He is a person who values love and righteousness. Our Whitebeard pirates are not his enemy. He will not hurt you," Whitebeard said slowly. Over the years, New World has been changing. But Whitebeard firmly believes that Chen Mu's character has not changed. They are still friends and family. 0 for flowers. 0. Then we can rest assured. But Marco and Joes breathed a sigh of relief, as did the other pirates on the ship, who unconsciously breathed a sigh of relief. At this time, they deeply felt the beauty of joining the Whitebeard pirates. Don't stand on the opposite side of Chen Mu, don't need to be Chen Mu's enemy. Whitebeard put away the newspaper in his hand, looked at the pirates sitting around him and reminded. Get ready, we are going back to our hometown soon, and it won't be long. You will be able to communicate with Chen Mu met. The other side, Naval headquarters, falling back. Because Chen Mu went out to sea again, this sea was reappeared. The high-level main force of Naval headquarters quickly launched a meeting. Marshal Kong stood in the center of the meeting room, put the recently published newspaper on the table, and said in a heavy tone, in this sea, Chen Mu, who has disappeared for 5 years, still appeared. Quote. Garp said with a solemn expression, as soon as he went out to sea, did Fu destroy the Fang kingdom of Lot Linlin. Chen Shu's strength is still as terrifying as it was 5 years ago. Chen Mu's going to sea again is very likely to be a catastrophe for his marine. Crane rested his chin on both hands, his eyes full of worry. They, the naval headquarters, captured Vegapunk during the years when Chen Mu disappeared. And Chen Mu is a man who must retaliate for his flaws, and for what they did to Marine, there is a high possibility of retaliation. Sengoku took a deep breath, glanced at everyone, and expressed his opinion. Maybe it's a disaster, but it's also an opportunity. Don't forget that we have not only purchased a large amount of seastone from Wano Kuni in the past few years weapons, also because of the existence of Vegapunk, we have also developed a lot of weapons against demon fruit power like Chen Mu. Since they captured Vegapunk, they have been coercing Vegapunk to conduct experiments on demon fruit power. Today, they have produced a lot of weapons. Among them are countless seastone bullets with extremely strong penetrating ability. And extract the unique substance from the seastone, and create a special effect bomb that can make demon fruit power fall into a powerless state. All of this, all for Chen Mu and 188 Chen Mu's deterrence. Marine Rear Admiral Sakazuki said solemnly, Sengoku Admiral is right. No matter how strong Chen Mu is, we have countermeasures against him. We will not lose if we fight Chen Mu. This top-level meeting of naval headquarters, logically speaking, Marine Rear Admiral is not eligible to participate. But, Sakazuki, Pelusolino, Kuzan, all 3 stars at naval headquarters. Possessing extremely strong strength and talent, although they are rear admirals, they are qualified to participate in this level of meeting. Kong solemnly asked. Let's start preparing quickly. With Chen Mu's personality, when he learns that Vegapunk was taken away by our marine, there is no doubt, he will directly attack our entire naval headquarters. Attack. After all, Kong is from the same era as Chen Mu, so he knows Chen Mu's character quite well. He knew that, 507, Chen Mu would definitely make such a crazy move to attack naval headquarters. Garp, Sengoku, the 2 of you are driving the warship to patrol the nearby waters, and then the rest of you will quickly contact the entire Grand Line and the Marine branch of the New World to call them all back. Kong continued to order. Yes, Kong. The 2 nodded. Yes, Marshal Kong. After hearing Kong's words, Kizaru showed a wretched look and said, it's so scary, just to beware of a Chen Mu, do we need to make so many preparations? Now, their naval headquarters has the strength of Marine Marshal Kong, Marine Admiral Garp, Sengoku, and Zephyr. Moreover, there are 18 naval headquarters top vice admirals, nearly 100 marine rear admirals, and tens of thousands of elite soldiers. In addition, they have a large number of seastone weapons, and special effect bombs for demon fruit power. These forces are enough to destroy any force in the New World. In Kizaru's view, these troops are more than enough to deal with 2 Chen Mu's. There's no need to call the Marines from New World back. No, Pelusolino, you underestimate the existence of Chen Mu. 5 years ago, his strength has reached a level beyond our imagination, and now his strength is likely to be improved again. If you prepare more, you will suffer a lot. Kong now attaches great importance to Chen Mu, and he doesn't hesitate to call Marine from New World back. Prepare to mobilize the powerhouses of the entire naval headquarters to deal with Chen Mu alone. Aokiji leaned back on the chair, put his hands behind his head, and said a little lazily, if we have made so many preparations, if Chen Mu didn't attack our naval headquarters, it would be for us. There will be a lot of damage. The Marine stationed in New World has 2 purposes. One is to monitor the movements of the New World pirate. The other is to restrain those pirates who offer bounties of over 100 million, so that they don't dare to do whatever they want in New World. Once they call back the troops of New World, then they will no longer be able to grasp the whereabouts of the New World pirates, and the New World pirates will also be in chaos when their marine withdraws. This will be an unexpected loss to their marine. No, Chen Mu will come, he will definitely appear in the naval headquarters. And what we need to do is wait for Chen Mu to arrive at the naval headquarters, and wipe him out completely. Kong said with a firm expression. New World, inside Wano Kuni Ghost Island. Kaido, Green Pepper, and Wild DeWald are all brought together. And beside them, there were also 3 of Kaido's confidants and 3 disasters, as well as many pirates under Beast's pirates. Similarly, the crew of DeWald and members of the Green Pepper flag are also present on Ghost Island. DeWald held the newspaper about Chen Mu in his hand, and said with a serious expression, Chen Mu, bastard, I didn't expect that, this sea will reappear. Xingjiao couldn't help taking a breath, and said in a deep voice, I think we need to avoid the limelight. If Chen Mu comes to the door, we will probably die on the spot. 5 years ago, the 3 of them reached an alliance with Silver Axe and Tian Now. The 5 of them jointly encircled and suppressed Chen Mu, but in the end, not only did they fail. Instead, Chen Mu counter-killed 2 of them. And with Chen Mu returning to the sea, they believed that Chen Mu would know the news that the 3 of them were still alive. Once Chen Mu comes to the door, then, it will be bad. 0. Although, the 3 of them have greatly expanded their influence and improved their strength in the past few years. But they also know very well that this is just a drop in the bucket. It is not enough to compete with Chen Mu. What's your opinion, Kaido? Xingjiao and Berndy asked Kaido. Now, the 3 of them are in a state of alliance, and their opinions naturally have to be one. The 2 of them have now agreed to hide from the world, and then only wait for Kaido's opinion. Governor Kaido, Chen Mu's current bounty has reached 7.3 billion Baileys. We can't compete with this kind of existence now. Quote, Kaido's previous bounty was 6.7 billion Baileys. After destroying Charlotte Linlin's Wango, the bounty has increased to 7.3 billion Baileys. This is the height of the whole sea, no one can reach. Yes, Governor Kaido, it is impossible for us to defeat Chen Mu now. Chen Mu is a complete monster. Even a madwoman like Charlotte Linlin can easily destroy the Wango. We still have no strength to compete with him. The main force of many beasts pirates under Kaido spoke out to persuade them. They know that Kaido is a hot-tempered and a stupid young man. Now they are very afraid that Kaido will make the decision to send 5.9 to die, instead of choosing to live in seclusion, they will confront Chen Mu head-on. If Kaido really made such a decision, they would leave the beast's pirates without hesitation. After all, they followed Kaido because they wanted to see him become the One Piece. Instead of following him to die. Governor Kaido, I think we really need to avoid the limelight. It is not easy for us to continue to develop power now, because once Chen Mu targets us, our consequences can only be the same as Charlotte Linlin. Quote. Kaido's most important confidant, Jin, also persuaded him. Although they don't know exactly how Charlotte Linlin provoked Chen Mu. The Wango formed by Charlotte Linlin was destroyed by Chen Mu, this is a fact. There is no doubt that Chen Mu's strength has been promoted again compared to 5 years ago. 189 Succession Rinnegan. Quinn also advised. Boss Kaido, 30 years in Hedong and 30 years in Hexi, we are not in a hurry to collide with Chen Mu at this moment. It's just Chen Mu, what are you 2 big brothers afraid of? Compared with everyone's worries, Jack at this time looked unusually strong-headed and said fearlessly. Jin put his icy eyes on Jack and said coldly, shut up Jack, when is it your turn to interrupt here? Jack is good at everything, obedient and capable, but he has no brains. Yes, I'm sorry, brother Jin. Hearing Jin's scolding, Jack bowed his head obediently, not daring to refute. 2. After a long silence, Kaido ordered, call back all the pirates scattered in New World. As long as their forces don't appear in front of Chen Mu, don't provoke Chen Mu. Kaido believes that Chen Mu probably won't come to trouble them either. Because of the fight 5 years ago, Chen Mu has already enjoyed it. Unless they get sick and touch Chen Mu's bottom line, otherwise, they can still survive 10 times without being approached by Chen Mu. Shall we confess, Boss Kaido? Jack's voice just fell. Jin and Quinn immediately surrounded him and beat him up. New World, an island. This island is where Vegapunk conducts research. After Chen Mu placed Vegapunk on this island for him to study, Chen Mu returned to the Grand Line to find the Millennium Dragon. After 5 years, he finally returned to the island again. Just when Chen Mu thought that all his special abilities could reach full level today. But, the scene on the island made him stunned. Has the test site been destroyed? Looking at the ruins in the center of the island, Chen Mu knew that the base where Vegapunk conducted experiments had been destroyed. Did Marine do it? Chen Mu's complexion became gloomy. If there are no accidents, the current Vegapunk should have developed more than 100 devil fruits. And this amount of devil fruit can definitely make all of Chen Mu's special abilities reach the full level. But, now it seems that the idea of reaching the full level of all special abilities is impossible to realize in a short time. The test base was destroyed, Vegapunk was captured, and devil fruit disappeared. Chen Mu took out Vegapunk's life card from the frog's room. You are very courageous, whoever dares to take me away, I will make you. Pay the price. With Vegapunk's life card, Chen Mu can find him no matter where he is caught. Chen Mu stared straight into the distance, just when he wanted to pursue Vegapunk. The sound of the system came. Ding, the system prompts. The photos in the host's mailbox have existed for more than 6 years. If the host doesn't take it out, it will be cleaned up as garbage. Mail. Hearing the prompt from the system, Chen Mu suddenly thought that his traveling frog also had the function of mailbox. Since the frog reached level 25 and unlocked the ability of them all. There is no system prompt for the photos sent back by the frog, but they are silently stored in postal education. After Chen Mu's victory in the Valley of the Gods, he has been looking for devil fruit and wants to buy the ability promotion card in the mall. Then I have forgotten my frog, and there is such a function as a mailbox. Now after being reminded by the system, he only recalled it. Chen Mu opened the mailbox, and saw dozens of photos in the mailbox. These photos are all sent back from Frog Myriad World's travel after the Battle of the Valley of the Gods. However, since Chen Mu has not opened the mailbox, the photos have been stored in it. Chen Mu took out dozens of photos from the mailbox. Among them, there are 30 photos, which are photos of people from the 10,000 worlds. With so many photos, it should be able to open up an ability. Chen Mu threw away the landscape photos in his hand, then looked at the 30 photos in his hand and couldn't help but click his tongue. Although it is said that the probability of obtaining the abilities of the people in the 10,000 realms from the photos is extremely low. But if you tear up 30 sheets in a row, the probability of gaining the ability must be very high. Without hesitation, Chen Mu quickly tore up the photo in his hand. More than a dozen photos were all torn up by Chen Mu in the blink of an eye. After the photos were torn off, they formed energy clusters and disappeared between the sky and the earth. When Chen Mu tore off the photo of Uchiha Madara, the photo formed an energy cluster and then entered Chen Mu's body. It worked. Seeing this scene, Chen Mu was slightly excited. If the torn photo forms an energy cluster and enters his body, it also shows that he has acquired an ability of the person in the photo. You know, Uchiha Madara's strength in the Hokage ninja world is at the ceiling level. No matter obtaining any of his abilities, it has a huge boost to Chen Mu's strength. Ding, congratulations, host, for gaining the ability from Hokage ninja world, Uchiha Madara, Rinnegan. Rinnegan. You must know that Rinnegan is one of the 3 major pupil techniques in the Hokage ninja world, the most noble pupil power known as the eye that controls life and death. Chen Mu put all these photos in the frog's room, and then looked straight into the distance. As the system's voice fell, a special force entered Chen Mu's body. After getting Rinnegan, Chen Mu looked at the remaining dozen or so photos in his hand. Start following the life card and rush in the direction of Vegapunk. I saw Chen Mu's pupils turn purple, and there were circles of lines inside the pupils. As a result, his strength has been strengthened again. After thinking for a while, Chen Mu still decided to take these photos with him first. Chen Mu felt that his pupils were changing 220. It feels pretty good. Chen Mu could clearly feel the increase in power from Rinnegan. Today's short-lived possession of the European Emperor has already obtained an ability from the person in the photo. When the time is right, try tearing up the photo again to see if you can gain abilities from it. In the next second, the wings behind Chen Mu spread out, and he flew directly into the air. Is the Rinnegan of the heritage with Uchiha Madara. As Chen Mu obtained the ability of Rinnegan, countless moves about Rinnegan also entered Chen Mu's mind. If it continues to tear down, Chen Mu is not sure whether he has the luck of being possessed by the European Emperor. This is exactly Rinnegan. So I decided to keep these photos. Next, it's time to find Vegapunk. 190 Vegapunk. I think you will be destroyed. New World, somewhere marine base. This place is exactly where Vegapunk conducts research experiments. He has never left the island since he was captured here by Marine's people. In the depths of the experimental base, Vegapunk is still researching something at this time. Caw caw caw. And at this moment, the door of the laboratory was opened, and I saw standing at the door. Zephyr walked in, approached Vegapunk step by step and asked, I heard that you have developed a new type of weapon for capable people. What is Vegapunk? Vegapunk didn't speak, but flipped a switch on the table. In the next second, a huge robotic arm placed in a medicine jar appeared in front of the two of them. Zephyr noticed that the robotic arm in the medicine tank was exactly the same as the robotic arm installed on his right arm, and asked, Huh. Do you want me to cut off the other arm and install 2 robotic arms? Of course not. This robot arm is processed and improved by me. It not only contains higher seastone ingredients, but I also added the special ingredients in the special effect bomb I developed to it. When attacking the ability user, the robotic arm can emit special molecules that make the ability user weak. The effect can last for half a minute. Vegapunk explained. Although the robot arm that Zephyr is currently installing has a great restraint effect on capable users. But the premise is that Zephyr has to use the seastone robotic arm to grab the opponent's body to restrain it. But Vegapunk's newly developed robotic arm doesn't need to grab the opponent's body. Instead, it is fisting with the opponent, squeezing the special ingredients in the robot arm through pressure to form a cloud of mist. As long as the special mist emanating from the robot arm wraps around the capable person, the opponent will directly fall into a weak state for half a minute, and cannot use the Devil Fruit ability. It can be said that this robot arm is a person with the ability to overcome the sky. After Zephyr heard about it, a smile appeared on his face, and he said slowly, Really? In this way, even in the battle with Chen Mu, I will have a better chance of winning. Pipe. Since Zephyr installed the robotic arm a few years ago, it has erased the fear of Chen Mu. Now Vegapunk has developed such a new type of robotic arm for him, which gives Zephyr even more confidence. If he is allowed to fight Chen Mu now, he thinks he has a great chance of winning. After all, in Zephyr's view, although Chen Mu's strength is strong, he is always a capable person and will be restrained to death by him. After hearing Chen Mu's name, Vegapunk's complexion became serious. He had already developed a lot of man-made devil fruit for Chen Mu, but with the appearance of marine. All man-made devil fruits were destroyed, and so were his experimental data. Install it for me. Zephyr came to Vegapunk's side and spoke. Vegapunk took out the new robot arm in the medicine tank, and then replaced it. How is Chen Mu now? Vegapunk asked with a look at Zephyr. Logically speaking, with Chen Mu's character, if he was captured, the other party would definitely come to rescue him. But after waiting for him for several years, Chen Mu never came. And he was on this island almost every day and every night. What happened outside, what kind of news, he had no access to. His personal freedom was strictly restricted by the people of Marine. Zephyr shook the arm of the robot, and told him in a good mood, Chen Mu has reappeared in this sea, not long ago. Has destroyed Charlotte Linlin's 10,000 kingdoms. Hearing this news, hope was rekindled in Vegapunk's eyes. Although I don't know why Chen Mu disappeared for so many years, but if Chen Mu reappeared in this sea recently. In other words, it won't be long before Chen Mu will find him. I advise you to give up the idea of Chen Mu coming to save you. No one knows about this marine base except the marine executives and people from the world government. No one can find it here either, neither is Chen Mu. Quote. However, with Chen Mu's character, he will indeed find a way to take you away, but we are already ready to fight Chen Mu. Once Chen Mu appears in naval headquarters, the only thing waiting for him is death this way. Zephyr and Chen Mu are also living in the same era, so they naturally understand Chen Mu's character. The marine will surely retaliate against them. Since Chen Mu can't find this island, he will definitely attack the naval headquarters Marine. And they just happen to be ready to fight Chen Mu. Vegapunk said with firm eyes, Chen Mu will find this place and take me away. Although he has played for Marine for so many years, he still misses Chen Mu at this moment. Not because of anything else, just because following Chen Mu is very free, and you can squander money recklessly. But following Marine, not to mention wasting money, you can't get out, and you can't even read newspapers. In contrast, Chen Mu is much better than their Marine. No, Chen Mu will not find this place, nor will he take you away. The next target of Chen Mu's reckless character will only be the naval headquarters. For the strength of our current naval headquarters, as long as if Chen Mu dares to come, he will die, and he will bring us naval headquarters a lot of money. When they Marine found Vegapunk years ago, they didn't just get him here. At the same time, all the tens of billions of Bailey funds that Chen Mu handed over to Vegapunk for research were taken away. In Zephyr's view, not only does the current Chen Mu not have the strength to threaten their Marine, but he is also a boy who gives money. Vegapunk said coldly, you Marines really disgust me. Zephyr glanced at Vegapunk lightly and said, it's just what you think. Boom. Suddenly there was a loud noise from outside, and the whole laboratory was shaken by it. Step, step, step. Several Marine vice admirals rushed into the laboratory, panicking. Zephyr Admiral is not good, Chen Mu is here. What? Zephyr's pupils shrunk, somewhat unbelievable. This place is an absolute military base for their Marine, and no one should know about it except for the top Marines. Why did Chen Mu come here? Vegapunk sat on a chair, lay down all over his body and said slowly, I forgot to tell you, Chen Mu carries my life card, it seems. You Marines are about to face a catastrophe. 191 Chen Mu vs Zephyr. Zephyr's face was extremely heavy at this moment, and he said hoarsely, damn it, did Chen Mu find this place with the life card? Zephyr Admiral, what shall we do? This group of Marine vice admirals said with a panicked look, they are not weak, and they are quite famous in the sea. But, in front of Chen Mu, they are not even considered as cannon fodder, they are instantly killed. When Zephyr was at a loss, he suddenly set his eyes on the seastone robot arm. Seeing this, he was instantly full of confidence, and calmly ordered. Don't panic, I'm here to make a lot of special bullets, tell the other Marines on the island to prepare for the battle, since Chen Mu is here, let's take it down. Yes, Zephyr Admiral. After several Marine vice admirals obeyed their orders, they left quickly and began to notify other Marines on the island. Let me meet you, Chen Mu. Zephyr fiddled with the robotic arm in his hand, with a firm expression. Without this weapon, FA would not dare to face Chen Mu at all. After all, in the Valley of the Gods War a few years ago, he was psychologically shadowed. But since getting the robotic arm, he's regained his confidence. Now, Chen Mu is about to appear in front of his eyes, and this will be the moment when he smashes his fear of Chen Mu. Marine Base, the center of the island. Chen Mu was surrounded by several Marine vice admirals and countless Marine elites. But at the moment they were facing tremendous pressure, with cold sweat dripping from their brows, they didn't dare to attack Chen Mu at all. Because they saw it just now, Chen Mu took out a top vice admiral with a whole body wrapped in armor in one punch. Chen Mu. As a voice came, many Marine vice admiral and Marine soldiers were relieved. Zephyr Admiral is here. It's so good, I thought I was going to be killed. We will retreat quickly and leave the field to Zephyr Admiral. Can Zephyr Admiral defeat Chen Mu? Don't forget, Zephyr Admiral's right arm is equipped with a Seastone robotic arm that restrains people with abilities, so Admiral will definitely not lose. With Zephyr's arrival, Marine Vice Admiral and Marine Elite all backed away slowly. They know that they are not Chen Mu's opponent, Bok, at all. But at this time they believe that Zephyr will definitely be able to defeat Chen Mu. Because no matter how terrifying Chen Mu's strength is, he will be restrained to death by Zephyr. Chen Mu looked at the old acquaintance in front of him calmly and said, "We meet again, Tufa." The two of them haven't seen each other for more than 6 years since the battle in the Valley of the Gods. Chen Mu could tell that the aura of Zephyr today was completely different from that of 6 years ago. There is no doubt that during this period, Zephyr's strength has also reached its peak. The strength is even close to Garp, Sengoku and other Marines' absolute main force. Zephyr approached Chen Mu step by step, and when he was 10 meters away from Chen Mu, he stopped at the same spot, looked at Chen Mu and said, "Yeah, we met again, Chen Mu. Are you here to walk Vegapunk? Since you know my purpose very well, why bother to ask more questions?" Zephyr took off the cloak of justice behind his back, and said solemnly, "I am here to prevent you from taking Vegapunk with me here. You will definitely not be able to take him away today." After their Marine got Vegapunk, they only knew it clearly. How terrifying is Vegapunk's research talent? In just a few years, a large number of weapons targeting ability users have been developed for their naval headquarters. These scientists, they Marine will definitely not let go, even if they have to fight Chen Mu for this. Chen Mu sneered and said, "You are really speaking righteous words, Zephyr. The person Vegapunk is willing to follow is me, not you Marine." "So what?" Zephyr snorted coldly, tap tat tat. In the next second, a large number of Marine soldiers and several Vice Admirals appeared from behind Zephyr. What they hold in their hands are all unique weapons, developed for Chen Mu's physique. Bullet not only contains the power of Seastone, but also contains the power of top-level armament hockey's internal destruction. These bullets are all made of Zephyr, the top armor color on the cover. Then Vegapunk uses special materials to make the armed color on the bullets last for a long time. Even if it is stored for hundreds of years, the internal destruction effect on the bullet will not disappear. Shot. Zephyr ordered. Bang bang bang. Countless muzzles aimed directly at Chen Mu, where the bullets containing Seastone and internal destructive power poured, and shot at Chen Mu's body. "Oh, can it make me feel pain?" On the body of the bullet, Chen Mu bloomed together. But he noticed that there was something wrong with these bullets, and their power could even ignore part of his defense and cause damage to his interior. However, the damage caused is not very great. Because of Chen Mu's physique, not only the external defense is extremely strong. At the same time, because he inherited Charlotte Linlin's copper skin and iron bone physique, his bones and internal organs are also extremely hard. Even if it is made of Seastone and wound with internal destructive power, it can't do much damage to Chen Mu. Before Zephyr's body got close to Chen Mu, Chen Mu's fist had already hit Shunkfa's face. Feeling this power, hundreds of Marine elite soldiers vomited blood from their mouths, their eyes turned white, and they fell to the ground directly. Suddenly, a terrible collapse centered on Chen Mu and quickly spread to the surroundings. The building printed with Marine justice collapsed and turned into ruins, directly covering Zephyr. "It doesn't work for you." The surrounding ground plane was torn apart instantly, and huge cracks appeared one after another, like Grand Canyons one after another. Chen Mu's physique is much scarier than he imagined. Chen Mu. Zephyr's face froze, his fist was wrapped with top-level armed colors, and he shot it out like a bow and arrow. Too slow, Zephyr. This kind of physique can be said to be unheard of. Seeing the scene in front of him, Zephyr's complexion became a little heavy. In Zephyr's perception, even Charlotte Linlin's physique is not yet perverted to such an extent. Marine Vice Admiral, who was present at the scene, felt the terrible pressure, sweating all over, half kneeling on the ground. Zephyr's body flew backwards like a meteor, and then hit the building behind him heavily. He could only hold on so that he would not fall down. Boom. 192 The winning Zephyr, Zephyr Admiral. How is it possible? Is there such a big difference in strength between Admiral of our naval headquarters and Chen Mu? Chen Mu, has his strength improved compared to a few years ago? Zephyr Admiral doesn't seem to be his opponent at all. What to do? What should we do? Are we going to run away? Damn it, I was only assigned to this base for a day. Why did you let me meet an enemy like Chen Mu? Seeing Zephyr being blown away by Chen Mu's punch, Marine Vice Admiral, who was still holding on to the ground, slumped on the ground in an instant. The highest combat power of their naval headquarters, Marine Admiral Zephyr. In front of Chen Mu, he was directly knocked into the air without even stirring up a wave. This level of disparity in strength caused them to fall into deep despair and fear. Crash. Zephyr pushed away the crushed stones covering his body, spat out a mouthful of blood, and stared at Chen Mu with a ferocious expression. "Your speed is much faster than I imagined, Chen Mu. I was careless, come again." Zephyr growled unwillingly. With a trace of disdain on Chen Mu's face, he responded calmly. It's not that I'm too fast, it's just that you are too slow, Zephyr. Zephyr snorted coldly, wrapped his whole body in a purple-black top-level arm color, clenched his fists and rushed towards Chen Mu again. Bang bang bang. Chen Mu's fist collided with Zephyr constantly. In just a short moment, the ground level in the tens of meters around the two of them collapsed, and it looked like a mess. Countless earth and rocks tumbled, setting off bursts of smoke and dust. After several years of growth, Zephyr's armed colors have also reached the top level. But since Zephyr focuses on practicing armament hockey, observation hockey is only a mid-term level. Compared with Chen Mu's top knowledge, Zephyr's attack is completely flawed in front of Chen Mu. The fists of the two collided countless times like machine guns. In the beginning, Zephyr's fist can still compete with Chen Mu's strength, but, as time goes by, Zephyr found that Chen Mu's power is getting stronger and stronger. Every time the fist collided, Fa felt his arm trembling slightly. Countless collisions made Zephyr's arms a little numb. Your strength is really beyond my imagination, Chen Mu, Zephyr said in a deep voice with a grim expression. You know, his fists and arms are wrapped around top-notch weapons all the time to fight Chen Mu. Needless to say, the hardness of the top arm color is almost comparable to that of diamonds. But, it is such terrible hardness that Zephyr can actually feel a little pain in the fistfight with Chen Mu. Chen Mu's strength is so powerful that it is outrageous. Your strength is much weaker than I expected, Zephyr. I thought that after so many years, your strength has been greatly improved, Chen Mu said lightly. Zephyr's strength has indeed been greatly improved in the past few years. But, his strength has improved, and it seems a little insignificant in front of Chen Mu. Chen Mu 5 years ago possessed strength beyond the admiral level. Now, after 5 years of growth, his strength has improved to a higher level. And Zephyr, at best, is just an ordinary admiral-level powerhouse. Although Zephyr's strength is now close to that of Garp, Sengoku and others. But not always at the same level. With such strength, it won't last long in front of me. Stop being arrogant, Chen Mu. It's not that easy to defeat me. Zephyr snorted coldly, the veins in his arms popped out, and he exploded with even more terrifying power to fight Chen Mu. After all, Zephyr is also an admiral-level powerhouse. Moreover, he also mastered the top armament hockey, able to fight Chen Mu in a short period of time. But, the premise of all this is that Chen Mu didn't use his full strength. The speed of the fists between the two of them was getting faster and faster, and others could only see afterimages, as if they had punched more than a dozen punches in an instant. The airflow caused by the battle and the power caused by the collision of fists could already destroy buildings and other objects within a radius of 100 meters. Puff! Suddenly, from Zephyr's robot arm, a layer of gray smoke was emitted, and there was still a little humidity. This is exactly what Vegapunk developed for capable people. As long as this layer of mist taints the ability user, no matter how strong your strength is, it will still drop by more than 90%. Zero looking for flowers. And, devil fruit ability can't be used yet. Isn't this the fog produced by the special effect bomb newly developed by Vegapunk? I remember that this thing has the same ingredients as sea stone, and it can restrain people with abilities. Yes, Chen Shu is a capable person. Ha ha ha. It seems that the victory is won. Any person with this ability will be greatly weakened by this fog, and Chen Mu is no exception. Seeing the scene in front of them, several Marine Vice Admirals who were nervously watching the battle suddenly smiled. Zero, think the odds are in your hands. I lost to you, what are you talking about, Zephyr? The veins in Zephyr's arm bulged, and he suddenly swung a punch, trying to blow Chen Mu away. And the 10% power exerted is not enough for Zephyr at all. After all, Chen Mu is not demon fruit power, it has no effect on his strength. But practicality is not strong. Seeing that Chen Mu's whole body was covered in mist, Zephyr couldn't help grinning and said, You're going to lose to me after all, Chen Mu. It can be said that it is very practical. Don't be brave, Chen Mu. Now, how powerful can you show? This layer of white mist only increased the humidity of the air around Chen Mu. Now, Vegapunk puts the mist in the special effect bomb into Zephyr's robot arm C by special means. And capable people are not fools, they will stand still and make your bomb explode. Just by punching and squeezing, the mist can be released. Because he knows that Chen Mu can only display at most 10% of his peak power now. Zephyr predicted that Chen Mu would definitely not be able to withstand his attack. So, the special effect bomb developed by Vegapunk before is very useful. You know, the special effect bomb developed by Vegapunk before, although it is very restrained. But, the bomb must be thrown out, and then smoke can be produced to restrain the ability user. 193 Slay Zephyr, destroy Marine Base. Snapped. Chen Mu directly grabbed Zephyr's fist with one hand and held it firmly in his hand. At this moment, no matter how hard Zephyr tried, he couldn't pull his arm back, as if it was stuck. Zephyr's pupils constricted violently, and he said in horror, How is that possible? Even if you can only display 10% of your strength, can you still have this kind of strength? Chen Mu sneered. You can only use 10% of your strength. Who told you that? With the veins in Chen Mu's arm popping out, when he was exhausted, Zephyr felt a tear from his fist. Chen Mu's strength seemed to be able to crush his fist wrapped around top-level weapons. Looking at Chen Mu in front of him, Zephyr felt that what he was fighting with was not a person, but a living monster. A terrifying monster that he is completely irresistible and unable to fight against. 497, Chen Mu. Zephyr roared, and the robot arm slammed towards Chen Mu, trying to hit Chen Mu on the head. Snapped. Zephyr's robotic arm was easily blocked by Chen Mu. Since Zephyr's robot arm was not wound with the arm color at the first time, so, in the blink of an eye, countless cracks appeared. Ka. As the veins on Chen Mu's arm burst out, Zephyr's robotic arm made of sea stone was directly crushed by Chen Mu. And Zephyr was directly thrown out by Chen Mu, and his body hit the ruins again. It's a strange monster, it can only use 10% of its strength, and it crushed Zephyr Admiral. No, he is not a monster, but a demon. No, it's impossible to defeat Chen Mu with Zephyr Admiral alone. With Chen Mu's strength, even one person can match all the combat power of our entire naval headquarters. We're dead. The Marine Vice Admirals who saw Hope saw Zephyr being sent flying again, and fell into despair again. At this moment, they could see that Marine Admiral's combat power was like a toy in front of Chen Mu. You bastard! Zephyr climbed up again from the ruins, but at this time he no longer had the confidence to fight Chen Mu. The fear in my heart began to rise. The desperation I felt after the battle between the Valley of the Gods and Chen Mu, and the psychological shadow under Chen Mu. All sorts of negativity, as well as fear, began to pound Zephyr's mind. He didn't expect that it wasn't just him who improved in these years. Chen Mu's progress can even be described as fear. And at this moment, Vegapunk walked out of the test base, glanced at the situation on the battlefield, and said flatly, "It seems that this battle does not need my help." I saw Vegapunk took out something like a remote control from his pocket. He pressed the red button on it, and he could see the remaining robotic arm on Zephyr's arm completely fall off. Although he is playing for Marine, he is also secretly engaged in some small tricks. For example, the robotic arm that Zephyr is currently installing is controlled by Vegapunk. Just press the button and the robotic arm will come off directly. Vegapunk approached Chen Mu and said with a smile, "After waiting for so many years, you finally found me, Chen Mu." He thought that Chen Mu would be able to find him within a few days after he was taken away by Marine. But the fact is true, he waited for several years before Chen Mu found him. "Didn't I tell you that I'm going back to the Grand Line?" Chen Mu spread his hands and smiled. "You disappeared for a few years. Let's not talk about this. Man-made devil fruit, how many have you produced?" "The man-made devil fruit I created has been processed by the people in Marine, and I have been under their surveillance here. In addition, all the experimental equipment for making man-made devil fruit has been destroyed, and none have been produced in these years." Vegapunk shaking his head helplessly. "Yeah." Chen Mu nodded, his complexion became gloomy, and he set his eyes on Zephyr. What do you want to do, Chen Mu?" Looking at Chen Mu's pupils, Zephyr felt the pressure of arrogance. "This island, and you no longer need to exist." The veins on Chen Mu's forehead popped out, and he rushed towards Zephyr quickly. When Zephyr had the sea stone robot arm, it was no match for Chen Mu. Now that the robot arm is destroyed, let alone now. Zephyr's fist collided with Chen Mu again, but because Zephyr only had one arm. At this time, he was already being pressed and beaten by Chen Mu. Fist dodge. Chen Mu's fist was slightly charged, the veins on his arm and forehead popped up, and he hit Zephyr's head with all his strength. 0. It can be seen that Zephyr's body flew upside down 100 meters away, then hit the ruins and fell into a coma. This punch of Chen Mu not only used all his strength, but also wrapped around the strength of the armed color and conquerors. Although it doesn't kill Zephyr directly, it also directly puts him in a coma. If Zephyr had a robotic arm, it would have the combat power of an ordinary Marine Admiral. But if there is no robotic arm, his strength is as high as the sky, and he is only at the level of the top Vice Admiral. At this level, Chen Mu is completely invincible. Zephyr Admiral. Lost. Zephyr Admiral has lost. If Zephyr Admiral loses, that means, we will die here too. Why? Why is there such a terrifying existence as Chen Mu, not our Marines, but pirates? It would be nice if Chen Mu was a Marine, but unfortunately, he is a pirate, and we are going to die here today. Chen Mu's strength, no matter which faction he joins, will have an earth-shaking impact on the world. If Chen Mu is Marine, I believe that all the pirates in this sea will be shrouded in his shadow. But it's a pity. Chen Mu is a pirate, not only Pirate 4.7, but also their Marines are shrouded in his shadow. Chen Mu quickly came to the comatose Zephyr, clenched his fists tightly, and smashed Zephyr's head with one punch. Because Zephyr fell into a coma, he couldn't cover his body with armed colors. The hardness of his skull is as fragile as tofu in front of Chen Mu. The top combat power of Naval Headquarters, Zephyr, also fell into the hands of Chen Mu today. After killing Zephyr, Chen Mu directly destroyed the entire Marine base, and then took Vegapunk away. Just killing Zephyr is not enough. Next, Chen Mu is going to find trouble with Naval Headquarters. After all, Marines people made him wait for 5 years in vain, but in the end they didn't get a single man-made devil fruit. If it doesn't cause some trouble for Naval Headquarters, Chen Mu will not let it go. 194 Whitebeard's Invitation Naval Headquarters, Marine Variety. Marshal Marine, in Kong's office. Blue, brew, blue, blue. Blue, brew. Kong was serious as the phone bug on the table kept ringing. But it wasn't someone else calling, it was him calling Zephyr. Since a few days ago, Vegapunk said that a new weapon was developed, and Zephyr went to the Marine base there. But today, a few days have passed, and they wanted to inform Zephyr to return. But, no matter what they call, Zephyr's phone bug won't get through. Not only that, but the phone bugs in the entire Marine base where 4+ Punk was researching couldn't get through. Garp had an ominous premonition, and said solemnly, could it be that Zephyr was killed? Sengoku shook his head slightly, and expressed his opinion. Zephyr's strength is not much weaker than ours. If you want Zephyr to be killed, there are not many people in the whole sea who can do it. The same. No one would take a Marine Admiral lightly. Marine Admiral, no matter how you say it, is also one of the best combat forces in this Big Ten Sea. As for the big pirates in New World, all of them are in a state of development at this time. Their Marine didn't take the initiative to provoke the pirates, which pirate would have nothing to do to provoke a Marine Admiral. Others may not provoke Zephyr, but what if Zephyr meets Chen Mu halfway? He suddenly reminded. As his words fell, the complexions of Garp, Sengoku, and Kong became extremely heavy. Chen Mu has disappeared in this sea for several years, and since a few days ago, he appeared in New World Charlotte Linlin's territory, destroying all nations. Could it be that Zephyr met Chen Mu on the way to New World Marine Base? However, if Zephyr met Chen Mu halfway, then, what happened to Marine Base? If Zephyr met Chen Mu halfway, then no one in the entire Marine Base answered the phone bug. Logically speaking, the calls from Naval Headquarters were answered in seconds 24 hours a day. But this time, they called more than a dozen phone bugs, but none of them answered. Sengoku frowned, and said hoarsely, could it be that Chen Mu found Vegapunk in New World, destroyed the entire Marine base, and then killed Zephyr? It seems that it can only be such a situation. Sengoku's words fell, which kind of woke up the three of them. Although the three of them could not accept such a fact, but now it seems that the situation is very likely to be the case. After Zephyr arrived at New World's Marine base, he was approached by Chen Mu. Chen Mu killed Zephyr, destroyed the entire Marine base, and took Vegapunk with him. Boom. The veins on Kong's forehead bulged, and he slammed his arm hard on the table in front of him. The table couldn't bear Kong's force and was shattered directly. Damn Chen Mu. Why does this bastard cause a lot of trouble for our Marines every time he goes out to sea? F.A., the highest combat power of our high headquarters. He is an extremely difficult talent to cultivate. In addition, they have already realized the horror of Vegapunk. I wanted to continue to use Vegapunk to do more things, but now Vegapunk has been taken away by Chen Mu. These two bad news are extremely heavy for their naval headquarters. He said with a very headache, we are going to quickly enter the alert period, Kong, with Chen Mu's personality. Even if Zephyr is killed, it is very likely that he will not let it go. If there is no accident, within a few days, Chen Mu will definitely sneak attack on our naval headquarters. Garp, Sengoku, I'm still going to trouble you these few days. Go to naval headquarters to patrol around. Once you find Chen Mu's whereabouts, please notify us immediately. Similarly, don't conflict with Chen Mu. This time, let's carry Zephyr's share, and completely wipe out Chen Mu. No matter how painful the price is, we must wipe out Chen Mu. Kong said solemnly, fists clenched. I see. Garp and Sengoku nodded, and then they were ready to set off and set sail again for inspection. The battle between them and Chen Mu is inevitable, but the next battlefield will be their naval headquarters with many Marlins. On their marine home court, they didn't believe it, they couldn't execute Chen Mu yet. By the way, how is New World's marine mobilization going? Kong asked, looking at he. A few days ago, they issued an order to Marine in New World to return to Marine base quickly. In about 1.5 days, all the Marines of New World can arrive at naval headquarters. As for the Marines of Grand Line and Four Seas, they can return in about half a day, Hiroshiui reported. That's good, when Chen Mu attacks naval headquarters, it will be his end, Kong said firmly. Kong couldn't believe it, the Marine was only here to deal with Chen Mu alone. With so many troops mobilized, it is still impossible to take it down. New World, home of Whitebeard. In his hometown, Whitebeard finally found the phone bug 117 years ago. Blue, 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 brew, blue, brew. The phone bug connected, and the phone bug in front of Whitebeard's eyes slowly formed the appearance of Chen Mu, which made Whitebeard smile immediately. Hi, is this Chen Mu? Hearing this familiar voice, and the appearance of the phone bug, Chen Mu knew that the other party was Whitebeard, and asked, oh, Edward, what can I do for you? So la. We haven't seen Chen Mu for many years, do you have time to have a drink together? Whitebeard invited. A drink? No problem. Chen Mu originally wanted to settle Vegapunk, so he went to Naval headquarters to trouble him. But, thinking about it, he and Whitebeard have not seen each other for more than 6 years. Facing an old friend's invitation, Chen Mu naturally had no reason to refuse. As for the attack on Naval headquarters, it would be better to delay it for a few days. Then, let's meet at the Honeycomb Island. Chen Mu, you should know where the Honeycomb Island is. Honeycomb Island is where the formation of Rocks Pirate started. That place is known to everyone in the New World because of the rocks. 195 gathering on the Honeycomb Island New World, Honeycomb Island. This place used to be very bustling because of the rocks. This place was also admired and yearned for by countless pirates before. But with the fall of the rocks in the Valley of the Gods, this place has also become a key target for marine. Nowadays, there are hardly any pirates left on this island. But today, it can be seen that the ship of the Whitebeard pirates is docked on the coast. I'm going to see Chen Mu later. Dad, I feel a little nervous. Me too, after all, what we are going to meet next is the strongest man in the New World. I heard that now Chen Mu's strength has surpassed the Overlord rocks of the previous era. Even if such a man is a friend of Dad, but the thought of getting close to such a strong man is a little bit overwhelming. I'm restless. Me too. I hope he's a nice guy to get along with. The members of the Whitebeard pirates were talking on board, some were excited, some were fidgeting. Father, when will Chen Mu arrive? Marco came to Whitebeard's side and asked. I don't know about that, but it should be soon. Whitebeard shook his head slightly. Odin, who was standing on the other side of Whitebeard, kept an excited look on his face, and said with his hand on the handle of the knife at his waist. I really want to fight against an existence like Chen Mu. Whitebeard glanced at him and said flatly, you won't be his opponent's Odin. Although Odin's strength is not weak, he can't even beat Whitebeard. Let alone fight with Chen Mu. You know, even Whitebeard is fighting Chen Mu now. They all think that they don't have much chance of winning. And if Odin fights with Chen Mu, it is very likely that he will be instantly killed. How do you know if you don't try? Odin patted his chest and laughed. It can be said that Chen Mu is the biggest factor for him to want to go to sea. If he hadn't read about Chen Mu's deeds in the newspapers, Odin would not have been so eager to go to sea. Suddenly there was a gust of wind hanging high in the sky, and a huge fire dragon rushed down from the clouds, carrying an extremely terrifying momentum, as if possessing the power to destroy everything. Look, that. What's that? Dragon. That's a dragon. It's such a strong sense of oppression, I feel like I can't control my hands and feet. This aura is even above Dad. What kind of existence is this dragon? Is it an enemy? Fighting against such a terrifying enemy, I feel that even my father is no match. But, damn it, is there such a horrible existence in New World? The moment Chen Mu appeared, he shocked all the members of the Whitebeard pirates. Countless people looked at the tall dragon in fear, and felt the pressure of the object on the dragon. Very good. So strong. At this time, Odin was startled with cold sweat on his forehead, and his body was always in a state of drawing a knife, but at this time he dared not be unable to pull out the blade at his waist. In other words, he didn't dare to pull it out. Facing a powerhouse of Chen Mu's level, he felt his insignificance. He was afraid that once he drew the knife, Chen Mu would regard him as an enemy, which would kill him on the spot. Old Dad, what is this? Marco on the side couldn't help taking a few steps back, his expression full of fear. Whitebeard stared at the dragon solemnly, and couldn't help sighing. So Lala, it's really scary enough. Did you eat the Eudemon's devil fruit like Kaido? However, your experience seems to be better than Kaido's. How much stronger? At this time, Whitebeard didn't recognize that the dragon was Chen Mu. Because Chen Mu can transform dragons, except for Marine, Kaido, Green Pepper, Burndy Wald. Almost no one knows that he still has such abilities. Whitebeard, who has not seen Chen Mu for more than 6 years, naturally does not know that this is Chen Mu. Chaozi wiped the cold sweat from his forehead, couldn't help swallowing and said, Father, can you defeat him? Whitebeard didn't speak, but held Kong Yunki in his hands, showing a fighting state, his eyes fixed on the dragon, to guard against his attack. Chen Mu saw that Whitebeard was in a fighting state, and couldn't help cursing. Hey, Edward, you bastard, is this how you meet your old friend? Hearing this familiar voice, Whitebeard trembled all over, and said slightly surprised, Chen Mu. The voice from the mouth of the giant dragon is Chen Mu who impressed Whitebeard the most. What, is he Chen Mu? Light, it's hard to imagine how terrifying Chen Mu's strength is. Sure enough, he is stronger than Dad, and even more terrifying than the Overlord rocks of the previous era. It scared me, I thought it was the enemy, and I thought I was going to die here today. It turns out, so it's Dad's friend. It seems that today's life is not in danger. Those pirates who were terrified at first breathed a sigh of relief when they learned that the dragon was Chen Mu. At this time, they were even more grateful that Chen Mu was their father's friend. If not, what if the Whitebeard pirates fought with Chen Mu today? They feel they are likely to be wiped out by the Chen Mu group. Odin took a breath, and couldn't help but exclaim. Is this the strongest man in this sea? Chen Mu, of yours. Originally, he wanted to challenge Chen Mu when Chen Mu appeared. However, with the appearance of Chen Mu, he was directly frightened and unable to move. Not to mention fighting with it, you can't even pull out a knife. Only at this moment did he deeply realize how outrageously strong Chen Mu's strength is. Whitebeard put away Kong Yunki, his complexion gradually recovered from his heavy face and he smiled and said, "You bastard, do you still have this kind of ability? You gave me a big blow just by appearing on the stage?" Seeing the giant dragon in the sky slowly turning into a man, Chen Mu spread his arms and smiled and said, "Hurry up fast in this form, otherwise I can't make it in such a short time, to Beehive Island." Chen Mu in the form of a giant dragon can be said to be the fastest in the world. Whether it is on the road or to escape, I believe that few people in this world can catch up with him. 196 Whitebeard. Let me go too. Chen Mu landed on Whitebeard's boat from a high altitude, and all the members of the boat fell unconscious. Only Odin, Marco, Josie, and Whitebeard, plus some pirates with bounties exceeding 1 billion Baileys, could reluctantly stand by Chen Mu's side. Whitebeard frowned slightly, patted Chen Mu on the back, and said angrily, "You bastard, restrain your aura, you scared my children." The pirates on the Whitebeard ship, even though they know that Chen Mu is their father's friend. It is also clear that Chen Mu will not harm them. But, the aura coming from Chen Mu was so terrifying that they didn't dare to get close at all. Chen Mu tried his best to be kind to himself, retracted the sense of oppression, and then looked at Whitebeard and complained. "I said, Edward, didn't you want to buy me a drink? Why didn't you see a bottle of wine?" Chen Mu saw that the boat was empty and there were only pirates. He didn't see a bottle of fine wine. Upon hearing this, Whitebeard turned his attention to Marco and Joe's and ordered, "Take out all the fine wines that I have treasured for many years, and don't keep a single bottle." "I see." Following, Marco and Joe said in unison, and then began to go to the cabin to take out the wine. And the other people on the ship naturally also took action, taking out the fine wine that they Whitebeard pirates drink every day. 220. Just like that, everyone sat around and drank fine wine. However, members of the Whitebeard pirates still keep a little distance from Chen Mu. Not because of anything else, but because I think Chen Mu is too scary. When they are close to Chen Mu, they can feel the oppression of suffocation. Whitebeard handed Chen Mu a bottle of fine wine, then opened the fine wine in his hand, gulped it down, wiped the foam from the corner of his mouth and said with a smile, "You bastard, we haven't seen each other for so many years. Today we must not get drunk, no return. No, let's just drink for 3 days and 3 nights. Chen Mu declined with a smile. "It's okay not to get drunk tonight, but if you drink for 3 days and 3 nights in a row, please forgive me, Edward, I still have some things to deal with." He still wants to create some trouble for Naval Headquarters, so naturally he can't stay here for too long. After all, the anger in his heart has not dissipated. Hearing this, Whitebeard twitched his mouth and joked, "Oh? In this world, is there anything that can trouble you?" Whitebeard felt that the current Chen Mu was stronger than him. Similarly, Whitebeard also felt something in Chen Mu that even Locke didn't have. He knows that Chen Mu's current strength has surpassed their former Captain Rock's. With Chen Mu's current strength, it is hard for Whitebeard to imagine that there is anything Chen Mu can miss so much. Chen Mu said calmly, "It's nothing serious, I just want to go to Naval Headquarters." Upon hearing this, Marco asked curiously, "Hi, Naval Headquarters, brother Chen Mu, aren't you a pirate? What are you doing at Naval Headquarters?" You know, Chen Mu's bounty is as high as 7.3 billion Baileys. Even for the rocks of the previous era, the bounty was only 4.7 billion Baileys. In the eyes of the whole world, Chen Mu is an out-and-out legend. And the people of Naval Headquarters naturally regard enemies like Chen Mu as thorns in their eyes. It was impossible for them to have any contact before, and it was an endless antagonistic relationship. A pirate next to Whitebeard with a bounty of more than 1 billion Baileys couldn't help swallowing and said, Is it possible? Do you want to fight the entire Naval Headquarters?" "Yes." What? Engaged with the entire Naval Headquarters. Among the Naval Headquarters, there are a lot of masters, including Kong, Garp, Sengoku, Zephyr, Crane and other top powerhouses, as well as 18 top vice admirals, plus nearly 100 top rear admirals, and more than tens of thousands of Marines elite. Does big brother Chen Mu want to fight against so many enemies alone? Babe. One person can compete against the entire Naval Headquarters. Is this the confidence of brother Chen Mu in his own strength? This is too scary. The crew sitting around on the other side, after hearing Chen Mu's affirmative answer, were stunned and couldn't help discussing. To say that the strongest force in this sea in the eyes of pirates is Naval Headquarters. Although world government is an institution above Naval Headquarters. But after all, the world government basically does not intervene in disputes at sea. And Naval Headquarters can be said to have countered the existence of all pirates in the entire world. But now, Chen Mu wants to fight against the entire Naval Headquarters with only one person. Such a move makes them feel incomparably crazy. "Brother Chen Mu, your thoughts are too terrifying," Marco couldn't help but said in shock. It is equivalent to saying that Marine's behavior is equivalent to directly wasting 5 years of his time. Since Chen Mu will make a move to face the entire naval headquarters alone, it means that some small actions of naval headquarters have completely annoyed Chen Mu. This gave Chen Mu the idea of attacking naval headquarters. But Marine did more than just capture Vegapunk. Exactly, so I'm sorry Edward, let's not get drunk today, but I will leave tomorrow. Whitebeard knows Chen Mu very well, and knows that he is not a person who likes to pick things up. Therefore, he does not want to see the casualties of his crew. This matter is considered to be over. After hearing what Whitebeard said, Marco was taken aback immediately, and said in a panicked tone, "Old father, are we going to face the entire naval headquarters too?" Because he has been looking for the Millennium Dragon in the Grand Line for 5 years, but there is still no whereabouts. He knew that the risk of attacking naval headquarters with Chen Mu was enormous. After having a glass of wine with Chen Mu, Whitebeard grinned and said, "If you don't mind, let me go with you, N." "Of course not. I'm just going with Chen Mu. You can choose not to go. The decision is up to you." Whitebeard shook his head slightly. This made Chen Mu unbearable. If Marine just captured Vegapunk, he killed Zephyr and destroyed the entire Marine base. Now back to New World, I didn't get a devil fruit. Whitebeard was taken aback when he heard about Chen Mu's thoughts, and then laughed loudly. "So la la la. It seems that Marine did something that upset you, Chen Mu. And also destroyed all the devil fruit he made. 197 Marine Samsung, Aokiji, Kazaru, Akainu." If the crew does not want to go, Whitebeard is understandable and acceptable. After all, such behavior, even Whitebeard thinks it is crazy. Hearing that Whitebeard wanted to go with him, Chen Mu was taken aback for a moment, then shook his head slightly and said, "You don't have to force Edward to go with me, I am enough alone." "You bastard, do you want to leave me and do something big by yourself?" He was worried about what would happen to Chen Mu going to naval headquarters alone, so he proposed to go with Chen Mu. Although Whitebeard knows that the current Chen Mu's strength has reached an extremely terrifying level. In a one-on-one fight, there are hardly a few people in the entire world who can match Chen Mu. But Chen Mu faced more than just one or two powerful enemies this time. But the entire naval headquarters, Chen Mu wanted to say something else. Whitebeard interrupted solemnly, "Chen Mu, you are the first friend and family member I made in this world. In my opinion, family matters are the most important. No matter which family member is in trouble, I'm going to help, so I'll go with you." Whitebeard is an extremely affectionate and righteous person, since Chen Mu is in trouble now. Then Whitebeard naturally can't sit idly by, after all, this is not his style of doing things. "I see." Chen Mu nodded, and did not say any more polite words. He is aware of Whitebeard's character if he continues to decline. From Whitebeard's point of view, Chen Mu didn't treat him as family. So, it's best to just accept Whitebeard's offer. Whitebeard stood up, looking solemnly at everyone on board. "Tomorrow, our Whitebeard pirates will go to naval headquarters with Chen Mu. Of course, those who don't want to go can stay. After all, this is a very dangerous mission. I won't force you to go together." After listening to Whitebeard's words, many crew members looked at each other and fell into a brief silence. "Dad, when I had no home, you took me in. At that time, I decided to follow you for the rest of my life, so this time I will fight with Dad." "Me too. I am coming too. Daddy, take me with you." After a brief silence, all the crew members of the Whitebeard regiment stood up and actively wanted to join the battle. I have to say that the atmosphere of the Whitebeard pirates is very good, not like a pirate group at all, but like a big family. Whitebeard set his sights on Marco Jos and asked, "Where are you two little guys?" Without a trace of hesitation, Marco said with firm eyes, "Although going to naval headquarters is a bit crazy, but we will go wherever Daddy goes. Our Whitebeard pirates haven't fought against Marine for a long time, and this trip to naval headquarters just gives me a lot of experience." Jos also said with firm eyes and fearlessness. "What's your opinion, Odin?" Odin put his hands on his hips and said with a big smile, "I just went out to sea, and I can fight against the top fighters in Marine. I will naturally not refuse such a thing. So la la la. Let us follow Chen Mu this time and turn naval headquarters upside down." Whitebeard raised one arm and laughed. 2 days later, naval headquarters. The famous strongmen of naval headquarters have all assembled, such as Marine Marshal Kong, Marine Vice Admiral Crane, Momosagi, and Marine Rear Admiral Akainu, Aokiji, Kazaru, Ghost Spider, Huashaoshan, etc. All the Marines are on standby, waiting for Chen Mu's arrival. And New World's Marines, as well as Grand Lines, including the elite Marines from all over the world, almost all played on the battlefield on this day. As for Marine Admiral, Garp and Sengoku, they are going to patrol the nearby waters. Once you find traces of Chen Mu, report to naval headquarters immediately. Aokiji sat lazily on a chair, looked at the sunshine above his head, and said lightly, "It's been so many days, and there's still no news of Chen Mu. Does he plan to stop coming?" Akainu folded his hands on his chest and snorted coldly. Could it be that he got the news of our army's assembly, so he didn't dare to come? Whether Chen Mu will come or not is actually unknown to them. But, because Kong firmly believes that Chen Mu will take revenge on their naval headquarters. 0 for flowers. Therefore, they have made so many preparations. But Akainu felt that Chen Mu probably didn't dare to come. The yellow ape on the side pondered his chin and said, "Who knows, if Chen Mu avoids the battle, wouldn't it be a good thing for us? At least we don't need to lose the Emperor's strength." Although Kizaru is only a rear admiral now, his character and future have not changed much. Always keep the idea of fishing, and don't want to touch any troublesome things at all. "Well, it's fine if you don't come." Aokiji put on a blindfold, lay quietly on the chair, and took a nap. In the square, countless Marines were waiting in battle, and only the three of them calmed down. 0. Although it is only a Vice Admiral position, its voice and status are not weaker than those of Marine Admiral. If they Marine annoyed other pirates, then the other party would definitely not dare to attack naval headquarters. Crane Vice Admiral, you three are really relaxed. Akainu, Aokiji, and Kizaru are the future hope of their naval headquarters. He stared at the few people solemnly, and said, "Chen Mu will come, get ready to fight, but the premise is to save your life first. If you want to say why no one disciplines them, it's because the three of them are 3 stars of naval headquarters. Anyway, they're just Rear Admiral now, and Crane is the absolute main force of their naval headquarters. Are you so sure that Chen Mu will come, Helfen? Even though it is only the position of Rear Admiral now, the right to speak and status in naval headquarters is not weaker than that of Vice Admiral. It is a force that cannot be ignored, but Chen Mu, who is very vengeful and extremely powerful, will definitely come from you." Seeing the Crane coming, the three of them hurriedly said respectfully, "Of course, because he is Chen Mu, but in consideration, let them have a long experience, stimulate their potential and competitiveness. Therefore, let them participate in this battle as well." The sound of the Crane came not far away, and he was walking slowly towards this side. They should not have been involved in fighting Chen Mu this time. 198 Summit War Open, Crane Vice Admiral. And at this moment, a Rear Admiral hurried over, looking a little flustered. He asked solemnly, "Is Chen Mu here? Already here? Well, is it still impossible to avoid fighting? What a troublesome thing. Since he dares to come, he will never leave naval headquarters alive today." Marine Rear Admiral adjusted his emotions, calmed down and looked at the people and said, "No, it's not Chen Mu, but the Whitebeard pirates." When they used the binoculars to watch just now, they saw the ship of the Whitebeard pirates approaching their naval headquarters at the end of the sea level. Crane's pupils narrowed slightly, and he said in surprise, "What, the Whitebeard pirates? What are they doing here?" They Marine have never had too many conflicts with Whitebeard in these years. 693 is almost always at the point where both sides are developing peacefully. Why didn't Chen Mu come, but Whitebeard came? No, I don't know. Marine Rear Admiral shook his head again and again. When he only saw the flag of the Whitebeard pirates with the binoculars, he hurried over to report. As for who is on board, he hasn't seen this yet. Kong walked slowly, came to the front of the crowd, and said solemnly, "I remember that Bastard Edward was very close to Chen Mu when the Rocks group was still there. Regarding the Rocks regiment, their naval headquarters has collected a lot of information. Especially about Chen Mu, who did Chen Mu have conflicts with on the boat, and who was the friend relationship with. It has nothing to do with anyone, everything has been inquired and recorded by Marine." Hearing Kong's words, he suddenly had a bad feeling and said hoarsely, "Could it be that Whitebeard came here with Chen Mu today? Just having Chen Mu alone is troublesome enough for their Marines." Unexpectedly, Chen Mu even called his old friend Whitebeard. "You know, Whitebeard has been one of the fastest growing and strongest pirate groups in New World since leaving the Rocks group. It can even be compared with the Roger pirates. Even their Marines can't ignore such terrifying combat power." Aokiji lifted the blindfold and solemnly said with a rare expression, "If that's the case, then it's troublesome." Akainu snorted coldly, and said solemnly, "It's just the Whitebeard pirates. Since they're here, let them fall to our naval headquarters like Chen Mu." Kong seriously warned, "Don't underestimate the Whitebeard pirates and Chen Mu, Sakazuki, or you will suffer a lot." Akainu's strength and talent really amazed Kong, but his character is too strong, which makes Kong a headache. But Aokiji and Kizaru are not much better, a lazy and arrogant. The other is thinking about fishing for nothing all day long. Crane Wong told the Marine who reported the situation, "Since Chen Mu has come, let's get ready to fight. It's time to inform Sengoku and Garp that they're back." Sengoku and Garp went to inspect the nearby sea area. It was originally planned to let them report the situation to naval headquarters after they found Chen Mu on the sea. In this way, they have more time to plan ahead for Chen Mu. But now, Chen Mu and Whitebeard have crossed Garp and Sengoku and arrived at naval headquarters. There's no point in continuing their cruise, it's time for them to return to naval headquarters. I see. Marine Rear Admiral nodded repeatedly, and then went to the phone bug to inform Sengoku Garp. On the other side, Whitebeard's boat. The members of the Whitebeard pirates all gathered on the rail, watching naval headquarters nervously. Here we are. Next, we will be fighting against the elite of naval headquarters. Thinking about it, it is really exciting. Although I'm a little scared, but this is a good opportunity for our Whitebeard pirates to make a name for themselves. If we can kill more Marines, I believe my name will spread throughout the sky. That's right, risk and fame go hand in hand, either fall in the naval headquarters, or become famous in the sea. Even if there are many deaths in Marine, we are not ashamed, after all. This is the headquarters of Marine. When the Whitebeard ship hadn't fully arrived at naval headquarters, the pirates on the ship started talking. Marco rubbed his fists and said with a little excitement, I heard that naval headquarters has cultivated 3 extremely talented rookies, and I really want to fight against them. Before arriving at naval headquarters, he was a little scared. But now, when he was about to arrive, he no longer had any fear in his heart. On the contrary, it is full of fighting spirit. Joe's on the side agreed. Me too, since I joined Dad's pirate group, I have rarely fought against the powerful Marine. The strength of the two of you has not grown yet, so remember not to blindly fight against the strong Marines. Whitebeard came to the two of them and warned solemnly. Whether it's Marco or Zeus, all are the most gifted and strong men on board Whitebeard. Now that the two are still in their formative years, Whitebeard doesn't want these two talents to die prematurely. Don't worry, old man, we know how to measure, Marco nodded. This is the same as starting the Summer War. Chen Mu couldn't help but click his tongue. In the original book, Whitebeard is to save Ace and lead the entire Whitebeard pirate group to fight against the powerful naval headquarters. Today, Whitebeard followed Chen Mu to naval headquarters. In this war, apart from the absence of 7 warlords of the sea, Blackbeard pirates, and Red Hair pirates, it can almost be said that everyone is here. Does our battle belong to the Summer War? It sounds like 3.2 really has enough hockey, Joe's praised. The Whitebeard pirates' ship soon approached naval headquarters. And the gun barrels of countless marine battleships on the coast of naval headquarters also aimed at the ships of the Whitebeard pirates. Fire! Marine Marshal Kong, standing on the shore, shouted. With an order, countless marine warships on the coast fired shells. Boom boom boom. Dense shells appeared over the Whitebeard ship, like dark clouds overwhelming the sky, and it was pitch black at first glance, all of which were special shells with extremely strong lethality. Let me come. A smile appeared on Odin's face, and then he directly pulled out the big sharp knives Yan Mo and Tian Yu Zan from his waist. In the next second, Odin stepped on the railing of the boat and flew into the sky. 199 Chen Mu vs Kong, Odin 2 swords style Taoyuan 10 fist. Odin flew high into the sky, with armament hockey wrapped around 2 large sharp knives. Odin once had this move, broke through Kaido's defense, and left 2 scars on Kaido's body that could not be restored. It is enough to prove how terrifying the power of this blow is. Shua. In the sky, 2 cold lights flashed, and the terrifying sword energy flew out, cutting off all the shells directly. Countless shells exploded high in the sky, setting off a terrible air current, and even more waves were set off on the sea. Warrior. At this time, the crane standing on the shore saw the scene in front of him, and said in surprise. He remembered that the Whitebeard pirates didn't seem to have such a person. And, the clothes she wears are somewhat different from normal people. Kong frowned slightly, and said in a deep voice, his outfit, could it be from Wano Kuni? Akainu on the side was a little surprised. The 10 countries of Wano. Isn't this a closed country? How could there be samurai who came out to be pirates? Maybe the Whitebeard pirates' appeal is so strong that even Wanakuna's samurai are willing to come out and become pirates. Aokiji yawned and said. In today's sea, the strongest man is Chen Mu, but the strongest pirates are the Roger pirates and the Whitebeard pirates. The popularity of these 2 pirate groups in New World is not even lower than that of Chen Mu. With a strong appeal, these 2 ships can almost be said to have gathered elite pirates from all over the world. It looks like a guy who is not weak, which is not good news for our marine, Crane pondered. Odin can split all the shells fired by their marine warships with a single blow. This kind of strength poses a big threat to their marines. I hope today's mission can end soon. Before the battle even started, Kizaru was planning to leave work. If it weren't for the fact that Kizaru is 3 stars in their naval headquarters, he is a very talented powerhouse. Otherwise, Kong would have punished him long ago. No matter what help Chen Mu finds today, he will surely die, Akainu snorted coldly and crossed his hands in front of his chest. Chen Mu killed his teacher Zephyr, now the garden dog is full of resentment and anger towards Chen Mu. Bang bang bang. The marine warships on the coast continuously fired countless shells, attacking Whitebeard's ship. But, without exception, all of them were cut off by Odin and other swordmasters of the Whitebeard pirates. Soon, the Whitebeard pirates' ship had completely arrived at naval headquarters. The shells on the marine battleship have all been exhausted, and the marine on the ship retreated quickly and returned to the coast. They came behind Kong and the others and waited in full force. Chen Mu, you're still here, Kong said coldly with his hands behind his back and his eyes fixed on Chen Mu. It seems that you Marines have already expected that I will come, but why don't you see my old opponents, Garp and Sengoku? Chen Mu noticed at this time that the top combat power of naval headquarters is only Marine Marshal Kong and he. Garp and Sengoku don't know where to go. To deal with you, I alone is enough. Garp and Sengoku haven't returned to naval headquarters yet, but I'm sure soon. Chen Mu said calmly. You Marines really like to talk big, don't you forget that you lost to me in the Valley of the Gods battle 6 years ago? During the Valley of the Gods period, Kong's strength was almost on par with Chen Mu's. At that time, if Kong had been stronger, Chen Shu might have lost. But the premise is that Chen Mu does not eat the fairy beans that restore physical strength. Now that 6 years have passed, Chen Mu's strength has once again undergone earth-shaking changes. The same is true for Kong, whose potential has not been fully explored during the Valley of the Gods. Now Kong's strength has fully grown, and his combat power is not even inferior to 5 elders. That's all in the past, now I will never lose to you again, Kong said solemnly with a firm expression. Yeah? Chen Mu jumped up and came to the shore from Whitebeard's boat. It is only a dozen meters away from Kong. Seeing Chen Mu's footsteps stepping on the naval headquarters base, Marines surrounded by Kong couldn't help but take a few steps back. What a terrifying aura is this Chen Mu? Feeling the pressure from Chen Mu's body, Kizaru couldn't help saying in surprise. This guy is very strong. Aokiji took a step back and watched Chen Mu warily. Although he had never fought against Chen Mu, he felt unprecedented pressure from Chen Mu. Akainu didn't speak, but his complexion became serious. Today, Marin Fandua will be your burial place, Chen Mu, Kong roared as he took off the cloak of justice behind him. Really, then let me see if your strength has improved, Kong. As Chen Mu's voice fell, the two disappeared in place at the same time. Then the figures of the two suddenly appeared in the center. Boom! Kong and Chen Mu's hands are 427 arms, and the top armament hockey is wrapped around the same time. The fists collided, and the ground level under their feet sank several meters directly, and the surrounding ground even cracked to varying degrees. The terrifying airflow generated during the battle swept across the 4 directions like a violent storm. So fast, so strong. The Marine Rear Admiral Mole saw this scene, and cold sweat broke out on his forehead instantly. No one dared to approach the area with a radius of more than 10 meters where the two were fighting, for fear of being harmed. Akainu stared at Chen Mu solemnly. Just when he was about to find a chance to sneak attack Chen Mu, he stopped him and warned seriously. Now is not the time to completely start this war. Garp and Sengoku haven't returned yet. If we also join, the Whitebeard pirates will not sit idly by. Haven't returned to naval headquarters yet due to Garp and Sengoku. At this time, if they break out of an all-out war with the Whitebeard pirates, casualties would be severe. Garp and Sengoku are the strength of their naval headquarters. Since an all-out war is going to break out, the two of them are naturally indispensable. Aokiji on the side stretched his waist and asked, what we have to do now is just watch the battle and wait for Garp Admiral and Sengoku Admiral to return? Yes, as long as we don't act rashly, the Whitebeard pirates won't take the initiative to fight us. 200 Underdog Kong watching Chen Mu fighting fiercely with Kong. Marco on the boat saw that Whitebeard was unmoved, and asked a little worried, Dad, why don't we go up and help? We followed Chen Mu today to help him, and Marine Marshal Kong alone can't do anything to Chen Mu, so we don't need to take action now. If other Marines intervene in this battle, it is our opportunity to take action. The reason why Chen Mu wanted to fight against the entire naval headquarters was because Marine's behavior annoyed him. The purpose of Chen Mu's visit this time is to teach Marine a lesson. The main purpose of their Whitebeard pirates following Chen Mu is to allow Chen Mu to leave naval headquarters alive. Once there is a combat force that endangers Chen Mu, it is the time for their Whitebeard pirates to act. If not, they will remain on the sidelines. After all, in the final analysis, the main two sides in this battle are Chen Mu and naval headquarters. But there is another important reason, that is, Whitebeard didn't see Sengoku and Garp, and he was afraid that the two would launch a sneak attack. Marco, what we need to do now is to keep an eye on the people in naval headquarters. Once other Marines have the idea of intervening, we need to assist Chen Mu without hesitation. A bounty of more than 1 billion Baileys the pirate, patted Marco on the shoulder and reminded. I see. Marco nodded. Naval headquarters by the coast. Chen Mu fought Kong again and again. It has to be said that Kong at this time can definitely be called the strongest existence in naval headquarters. Because Kong is at the peak of his strength and physical skills at this time, so he can use hockey and physical strength unscrupulously to start a fierce battle with Chen Shu. Of course, Kong's Conqueror's hockey is also very powerful. Armament hockey has cultivated to the top level, capable of internal destruction. As for observation hockey and Conqueror's hockey, they have both reached advanced levels. Just one step away from the top of Chen Mu. With two-color hockey wrapped around his fist, Kong slammed at Chen Mu and hit him in the chest. This punch contained almost all of Kong's strength. At the same time, because it contained top-level armed strength, his punch could directly pierce through even the incomparably hard fine steel. It is conceivable how terrifying power such a fist can have on a person. In the face of Kong's punch, Chen Mu has already used observation hockey to sense the attack route of his fist. If Chen Mu wants to, he can fight Kong again. But Chen Mu did not choose to fight, but ignored Kong's fist, and at the same time waved a fist containing two-color hockey, and also hit Kong's chest, in order to complete the injury replacement. You know, Chen Mu's strongest strength right now can be said to be his most proud physique. Chen Mu's external defense can even be compared to the hardness of diamonds, while the internal bones and muscles also have terrifying defensive power. Therefore, Chen Mu would naturally not be at a disadvantage if he exchanged injuries with the enemy. Boom. Boom. The fists of the two hit each other in the chest, and the bodies of the two moved backward at the same moment. However, Chen Mu quickly stabilized his body, while Kong staggered a little and almost fell to the ground. Puff. Suddenly, Kong's complexion became ferocious, and he spit out a mouthful of blood, this bright red blood. It also showed that the two punched each other, and Yuan Kong suffered a disadvantage. Martial Kong. How? How is it possible? Martial Kong was beaten and vomited blood by Chen Mu. Wait a minute, didn't Martial Kong also hit Chen Mu? Why isn't Chen Mu injured at all? Chen Mu's physique is too scary. Is this really a physique that a normal person can have? Even Charlotte Linlin, the great pirate from New World, was punched by Martial Kong. It's impossible to be safe and sound. It's strange. No wonder, Chen Mu can easily destroy Charlotte Linlin's Wango. There are so many elites in Marine, they can be said to be dumbfounded when they saw the scene in front of them, and there was a lot of discussion. In their minds, Kong, as the Marine Marshal, is the unique and strongest existence among their Marines. But now, Chen Mu hurt Kong without using his whole card. Kizaru stared directly at Chen Mu, rubbing his chin with his hand, and said slightly surprised, "Oh, what a monster, did he survive the punch of Martial Kong without any injuries?" Chen Mu. The so-called seeing is worth seeing, even though you have heard countless legends about Chen Mu. Witnessing the battle of such powerful people with your own eyes is the biggest shock to your heart. But it's not easy to sneak up, because Akainu noticed that Odin on Whitebeard's ship was staring at him. There was a trace of contempt on Chen Mu's face, and he said calmly, "As the Marine Marshal, do you only have this strength? Kong, you must have disappointed me too much." "Don't be too arrogant, Chen Mu, it's just a small injury, you're too naive to decide the outcome of a battle just by this blow." Kong wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth and snorted coldly. Chen Mu's punch did not cause too much damage to him. If they can find a chance to sneak attack Chen Mu, then their Marines' chances of winning this battle will be greatly improved. Chen Mu during the Valley of the Gods War can be said to have all the cards in his hole, so Mi and Guo defeated Kong Chen. But as long as their Marine behaves differently, the pirates on Whitebeard's ship will most likely attack. Good promise good. Akainu stared at Chen Mu's figure with a ferocious expression, and now he was thinking about how to sneak attack Chen Mu later. Fighting Chen Mu today made them deeply feel how terrifying Chen Mu's strength is. No matter how strong Chen Mu is, Akainu is still very confident in the destructive power of his devil fruit. Although, the Whitebeard pirates did not choose to directly assist Chen Mu in launching an all-out war with their naval headquarters. La, Chen Mu is indeed a remarkable person, or a real monster. Aokiji frowned, swept away his lazy look, and said solemnly. At the critical moment, his body and bones were already wrapped with top-level arm colors. So la. Your strength has not diminished in the past, Chen Mu, or so many years have passed. Your strength has improved much faster than Kong. Whitebeard laughed and said.